Turn the dial up, turn it loud. Miami's pride, make us proud. CanesWear crew, you hear the crowd. Hurricanes ain't backing down. Every play, every score, raising bets and raising roar. Rocking orange, green galore. All for one and one for four. We got FTSN, taking names, winning again. Podcast fam, till the end. Tune in, now let's begin.
That felt good. That felt good for sure. It has been a crazy last week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever. I know everybody watching this is like, wow, did this really happen? Did the Miami Hurricanes just leapfrog Notre Dame? Even though every single broadcaster, every single one of them, I mean, you had them all going ahead every game saying, McElroy, Herbstreit, even Nick Saban, I'm sorry. Every one of them saying Miami deserves. Miami just didn't get by Notre Dame. Miami destroyed Notre Dame. Miami kicked their ass, Nick Saban had said. Everybody was saying it, but I kept on looking at why the odds on Hard Rock and everywhere else still had Miami at 60 or 75 to 1, and Alabama 25-1, and Notre Dame, of course, at 10 to 1. And so no matter how many people I know like myself thought it's going to happen, they got to pick us. They got to pick us. In the back of our mind, we said, they know they're dropping bleeping Alabama between Miami and Notre Dame, and they're going to say, oh, they knew where the wedge was there. We had the wedge. We couldn't see Miami. We couldn't see Notre Dame lost. We never compared them. So when they came up with this thing, and I'm sure everybody's the same, my son Garrett was with me. We were watching in a car, actually, and on a phone. And when they started them up and they got, 8, I thought maybe we have a shot at 8. I mean, CFB Kings had tweeted about us being 8. I said, if you're right, I'm giving a $500 gift card to this guy for being right that we're 8. Because then I knew we'd be probably Notre Dame or someone would be home. And they put Oklahoma. I'm like, Urgh! And then they went ahead and went with Alabama, which seemed like forever. I thought, so you're saying we have a chance. But probably not, because at that time, if you were paying attention, FanDuel, Gio, was out there, and they had dropped information on the spreads for the next games, and Miami wasn't in there. So everybody's thinking, myself included, the gambler I am, saying they've leaked the damn thing. We're not even in. So at that time, I think we have zero hope. Plus, the odds of Miami are starting to get worse and worse and worse. Notre Dame and Alabama are getting better, and it's like these assholes have leaked it. They knew all along, pissed up. And then everybody saw we're waiting. Number 10 is, we're waiting. We're waiting. Number 10 is, and then it's like, you're looking, then you see that little speck of green or orange. Like, wah! Wah! My wife's going to kill me.
Right.
Anyway, I mean, talk about, I know every single person out there. Gio, were you like that? Were you like that, Gio? Were you screaming?
No, I think I was more so just in silence, sitting there just waiting for it to drop. And when it dropped that it was Miami, and it's funny enough, I go back to the first playoff rankings, and I always tell people, if Miami wants in, they want number 10. At minimum, you need number 10 to get in. People are like, oh, no, but the ACC and this and that. I said, forget the ACC. It's a long shot. And sure enough, in the final rankings, Miami gets in at number 10. So, hey, it held true for about 5 weeks, and they got it done at the end. I will be honest. Look, I'm not going to be an apologist for Notre Dame, but from what I've seen the past month from Alabama, Notre Dame got screwed. I'm going to keep it very honest. Miami should never have been screwed by Notre Dame getting the benefit of the doubt over them when Miami won the head-to-head to open the season. But there's no reason for like Notre Dame and Alabama to get in and then for Notre Dame to get in on the expense of Miami. Should never happen. And thankfully it didn't. A lot of chaos avoided. Obviously, you see the fallout with Notre Dame and their football program throughout the afternoon and this evening. They've opted out of their bowl game. They've called the playoff committee a sham and this and that. And then lo and behold, Notre Dame put in a backdoor deal some months ago through all the rulings with the college football playoff that going forward, if there's a 12 or 14 team playoff, that as long as Notre Dame's ranked in the top 12, they absolutely have to be in the playoff. Special treatment. You know why? Because they knew correction was coming. They knew that head-to-head matters. Yes, did Notre Dame get screwed by Alabama? Absolutely. Notre Dame should be in over Alabama, but not over Miami.
Absolutely. I think if Notre Dame fans have a gripe, and I think that's the reason they're most upset, is because of Alabama. Alabama, let's look at it last year. Last year, we didn't get in. Alabama jumped us, even though they didn't get in either with 3 losses, because we lost 2 out of our last 3. I don't care if they played an extra game, Alabama. They lost 2 out of the last 4, and they didn't just lose. They were getting worse. This was not the same team that beat Georgia earlier. That's not the same team that beat Vanderbilt. Not even the same team that beat Missouri. They could barely score in Oklahoma.
Well, I got a great quote from Alabama quarterback Ty Simpson where he shared after the SEC championship game on Saturday, where he said that he still thinks that Alabama has the best offense in the country. How can you be the best offense in the country and you could barely run the ball? -3 rushing yards in a conference championship game. That should be automatic that you do not go in the playoffs. Like how they got beat, it wasn't even a game. So, look, I'm not going to continue trying to defend Notre Dame here. Yes, did they get screwed by Alabama? Yes. They did not get screwed by Miami. Correction came finally at the end. What is right was done. Miami won the head-to-head. The games should matter. And finally, in the end, they did.
Exactly. And when they came out with the AP today, and I saw us 10, most people said, who cares? But I knew that, listen, some voters were marking us up. Then the coaches poll came out. What is the AFSCI or something?
Yeah, the coaches poll from USA Today.
Yeah, so that came out and we were number 10. So I said, we have a chance here. And sure enough, we were number 10. But I do agree. I mean, everybody, even Joey Galloway was saying that we should be in, that we're going to be in. The other person was Heather Dinch, who, if you saw Heather Dinch, she's sitting there like this, please, please, please. It's like, what, you have something on this? No, I just want to be right. I mean, really?
That's what it was about for her. And you know what's funny about the thing with Heather Dinch? She was clamoring for Miami at the beginning of the season. Oh, Miami. And she talked about after the Miami Notre Dame game. She literally said it like a day or two after that game was over. I think it was that Sunday or Monday, right after Notre Dame game, August 31st. So September 1st, September 2nd is time stamping this. She said herself that Miami Notre Dame game will very likely have playoff implications where Miami gets the benefit from, and then change the tune completely towards the end of the season, her entire tune. So that thing of her praying that she's right, that Miami doesn't make it in, you know what? And I had people in group chats I'm in, she was basically fear-mongering people like, oh, this is what I think the committee's going to do because I was in the room with them when they were watching the games. That's what she had said. So people were freaking out when she put out her projections this morning saying, oh, Miami first team out and then Alabama in. And I told people, I said, read what she wrote. She has no freaking idea. It's all just a theory, what she's going on, because she made a theory for, oh, could Miami get in? Or, maybe it could be Alabama or whatever. No conviction in what she wrote. You got to stand on it. And she did not.
No, I agree. Now, I told everyone, I told my son Garrett, asked, Dad, do you think? And I said, I just think I don't see it happening. I said, before the bowl games, I said, I think we're in trouble. He said, but you guaranteed, Dad, on social media 5 weeks ago after SMU that if we won every game convincingly, we were getting in. And I said, and I did. I said, number one is I thought somebody would lose. I mean, outside of Virginia losing that first weekend with Louisville, nobody has lost. I mean, Notre Dame, didn't lose, obviously. We thought they possibly could have a game with Pittsburgh. Oklahoma, gets by Alabama. Then they get by LSU. I don't know how they got by both those games. Oklahoma has no offense, but they go ahead and get to throw a Hail Mary pass and get it. And speaking of that, why aren't we 9 ahead? I know they don't want to drop Alabama. I'm not complaining because we're in the playoffs, but how would I like to be playing Oklahoma the first game and then being, we have the toughest route there is, having to go against Ohio State. Then we have to play Georgia, right?
Yeah.
and then
Ohio State,
possibly
Georgia.
Indiana. So if we win it, we deserve it. But we can beat anybody. But that being said, on Notre Dame, and I did hear Joey Galloway, and I know he's public enemy number one, and I am forgiving everybody now. Is that is what we do. I am forgiving everyone that said something about us. But Joey Galloway said the thing is, they said they never compared Miami and Notre Dame. First, they were supposed to be in a different tier. Then they were in a different pod. Then they never compared them. Why not? So they did a disservice here to Notre Dame. Totally did a disservice, because I understand their fans, everyone's excited. Now, they didn't have to act like they did on social media, like, oh, you guys have 2 bad losses. Well, I'd rather have 2 losses to 8-4 teams than not beating anybody, except for one team over 8-4 that was 9-3. It's like, we'd rather lose a game against a good team than beat a good team.
Yeah, that was the crazy discourse that was ran by Notre Dame. Because I'll be honest, I cursed on social media today right after Miami got in. I told the 1,000 of Notre Dame fans that kept on battling with me for the past 4 or 5 weeks with their stupid data points and everything, whatever, and ignoring the head-to-head and then comparing the wins. And even though Miami's wins were better against the common opponents, like Miami had 3 better wins compared to their 1 of common opponents, and just all the crazy cockamamie stories that they came up with along the way. I said that Notre Dame fans could eat. You get it. Eat shit. Yeah, basically that's what I said. But here's my thing. With that whole thing about Notre Dame, I've never understood it through all these weeks why they would say, oh, well, you guys lost to SMU and you lost to Louisville and they suck. ACC is trash. Mind you, meanwhile, Notre Dame schedules about half their schedule against ACC teams, and about 75% of those are bottom feeders of the ACC. Also, the other games that they have, bottom feeders of the Big Ten, bottom feeders of the SEC. Notre Dame was in a dogfight this year with a 10-loss team in Boston College from the ACC. And funny enough, though, Brett, their fans have the audacity to turn around afterwards and say, we need to end this agreement with the ACC and blah, blah, blah.
Exactly.
Like, what? It benefited you. The rest of your 10 games, they were nowhere near the caliber of teams that you played in Miami and Texas A&M. And ironic enough, Miami and Texas A&M matched up in the first round, which I think creates a great storyline, Brett. So you have the 2 teams that beat Notre Dame. You'll figure out who's the best of those 2.
That's a great point.
Miami has storylines that date back 20 years with Ohio State if they make it to the second round. Get past there, the Carson Beck storyline with Georgia if Georgia gets there. And then let's say look, just all hypothetical stuff. I don't know how far Miami's going to go. I have to look into this more of these other teams as these next 2 weeks come up before the matchup with Texas A&M. But let's say hypothetically, if it was Miami and Indiana, just for storyline purposes, Fernando Mendoza coming back home to South Florida to play against Miami, and he's a Columbus alum, and Mario Cristobal, just the amount of storylines within that. Hey, it's absolute cinema. Absolute cinema.
No doubt about it. It could turn out to be amazing. But, a lot of people say we have a tough haul, and I say I am just happy to be here. Our second season starts. Like I always say, you're playing that game, rally or whatever, you're racing the car and everything like that. You're just about, and you got like 1 second left, and then it says extra time. So we got extra time right now, and this just feels amazing, the second season. And I'm not going to worry about Mario. I'm not going to worry about the things we got to do. But I will say, I hope the team offense that is after SMU is still playing the rest of the season. I want that offense back. I want Pringle to be running, getting some outside runs. I want the ball flipped around. I want some plays where we're having the end arounds, jet sweeps, things like that. I think we will. I think Mario understands it.
I'll be honest with you, Brett. Mario Cristobal has to use that SMU game, and he has to this point. He has to use that SMU game as a turning point within coaching philosophy and the identity of this team going forward. No more taking the foot off the gas when you're up big or whatever the scenario may be. Just simply stick to what you've been doing. Don't go back on it. Don't go back.
No, absolutely. And, it's and you saw that. I know this was one thing that disappointed me about the way football is played now is we were all trying to have the obviously litmus test. We wanted to have the style of points. We needed to win with style. And so everybody's trying to run up the score. They're throwing the ball with 3 seconds to go. And it wasn't just up. Notre Dame was trying to score against Stanford to get 56. They were trying. They just fumbled that ball. But everybody was trying to run up the score. It's like, you only beat them by 30? We beat them by 60. You only beat them by 60? We beat them by 120 points. That's not the way it's supposed to be. You win by 30 points. You did a pretty good job.
Oh, well, it got insane, too, with the Notre Dame discourse because at a certain point they were talking about, first half spread and this and that and blah, blah, blah. And then I got into them. I'm like, wait a minute. Like, NC State that you were talking about or whatever, who Miami ended up beating them worse than what Notre Dame did.
Mm-hmm.
Notre Dame was like in a dogfight with them too at the half. So like it was just this constant tit for tat and back and forth and everything and whatever. Just at the end of the day, just seeing contingents from Notre Dame come out in droves this afternoon and through this evening talking about, we need to end our partnership with the ACC and Miami is undeserving. And how are you undeserving if you beat Notre Dame? And not only that, I get to this final point, and we'll move on to other points here. But I always said this to Notre Dame fans every single time they would bring up the SMU and Louisville thing. One, they acted like those teams were terrible. They were not. They won 8 games this year, both of them. And actually, both were ranked several times this year. It wasn't like they were bottom feeders like in the 80s or 90s of rankings. No, they were decent teams. And it wasn't like Miami got blown out off the field. They were 1-score margins. And Miami had opportunities to even win those games at the end. So you hope Miami has learned from that. But here's the last point, though, about SMU and Louisville. Every single time a Notre Dame fan told me that, I said, so Miami's terrible because they lost to them, right? So what does that make Notre Dame, who lost to Miami? And not only that, one more thing, there was constant discourse of, Notre Dame was breaking in a new quarterback. And we were breaking in new this and new that. So was Miami. Miami was breaking in a quarterback that didn't even practice all spring. Miami was breaking in all new receivers who, by the way, they made Notre Dame's secondary look silly. Notre Dame was considered to have a top 3 secondary coming into the season, having guys like Leonard Moore in that secondary, Adon Schuler. They had one of the best secondaries coming into the season. So, I mean, I'm just saying, and then Miami had to replace their whole secondary. They went and got a whole new secondary out of the transfer portal. And what was the result? Miami still came out on top. So there's just been so much discourse and just moving the goalposts constantly thrown from the Notre Dame fans. So you know what? The way I look at it is I joked with a Notre Dame fan about 2 weeks ago because he was like saying, I already feel it in my bones. They're going to put Miami over Notre Dame at the end. And I told him, I said, you're worried about correction, about them doing the right thing.
No, I agree. And I did hear Notre Dame people saying that. And obviously, we felt that way. Notre Dame felt that way. But you're right. I would say that on post after post. They're always crying, we're a different team. We're a better team. It's like, so Miami has won their last 4 games by about 28 points each. And that didn't matter. But you lost 2 games. You lost in November and October. Who cares? We had a slip up the first day in November. On top of that, we have probably the most dynamic playmaker in all of college football. He was 17 at the time. He had a great game, but he's so much more versatile. They're using him in so many different ways. Heck, he's throwing the ball now. I mean, we've got Gerard Pringle wasn't even playing at that time. Now he's our most dynamic back. So, like you said, Carson Beck. I mean, and our offense against Notre Dame, if we just weren't running the ball up at the middle to let them be back in the game, we would have blown them out.
Watching these last 2 weeks of college football, I'm not going to say it's just exclusive to Miami, but Miami looked like one of the 3 best teams that have been on football fields for the last 2 weeks. I put Miami in that category, Georgia, and I gave Indiana a lot of hell earlier on in the season. You know what? They've proved it and earned it. Indiana's for real.
They are definitely for real.
For real.
Do you notice that every team seems to be running the same offense? Georgia, their only plays are those quick bubble screens, guys coming. It's almost the exact same thing we do it. Other teams also. They're throwing the ball. Just you see some long passes and things, but you see the quick, short little screen pass all the time now. Yeah. Kind of strange. And Georgia's defense was phenomenal. I mean, they were on Simpson, and Simpson, I know, said he has the best offense in football, but he was running for his life.
You want to know the irony of something? I came across a photo from after the SEC championship in the Georgia locker room. 3 former Miami Hurricanes, and it was Colby Young who posted the picture throwing an upside down U. Mind you, he hasn't played for 6 or 7 weeks now. And Jaden Harris and Joshua Horton in the picture. They didn't do anything necessarily like distasteful to Miami, but in the caption of Colby Young's Instagram post, which made its way to Facebook and other areas, he said, "The grass is greener." Is the grass really that much greener when Miami's in the playoff too? When Miami has better receivers than when he was here? I'm just saying.
Exactly. And, people say things, they leave, I don't know. I always say, don't burn bridges, make other teams look good. Thank everybody for what you're here because because you were there. Listen, everybody has their way of dealing things. Before we get to the question and comments, interesting. A lot of fans I know told me before, if we don't get in, we should go ahead and not be in a bowl game. And then Notre Dame does the same thing. And I understand they say, it's a beauty pageant or whatever it is. It's a participation award. And there's 2 ways to look at it. They feel bad, but they didn't beat anybody. The one thing is if you were 0-2 or 0-1 against anybody in the playoff race, you shouldn't be in. And there were Vanderbilt too. People said Vanderbilt should be in. They didn't beat anybody. That was in the playoff race. So you need to beat somebody. But I do understand how upset they are. But now that they're saying we're not going to be in a bowl game. So they're saying we're not in a conference, and now we're not going to be in a bowl game. And they're like, we're so proud of Notre Dame because they're not going to give ESPN all that money. So now they give up 15 days or 20 days of practice? Isn't that it? Which you think you need, which is the most important thing. You don't play in a bowl, which they're probably going to get $5 or $6 million, don't they, for the Pop-Tart Bowl?
No, not 5 or 6, but they Pop-Tart does pay pretty well.
Yeah,
it's funny. People make fun of the Pop-Tart Bowl, but it's actually one of the most premier bowl games now. Like it's up there. It's the equivalent of the BCS bowls from the past, basically.
So they don't want to go ahead and play because, you get blown out and it looks bad if a lot of players are staying home. But the young players do get a chance to play, and you do get to see what they've got. You got to practice 15 to 20 days. I understand it in a way, but you're the school with no conference. And people have said that they really were not there. This was the Alabama, not Miami Notre Dame, but Alabama Notre Dame was, a lot of people think, a slap to Notre Dame saying you better join a conference. We're tired of this. You're going. I know Danny Cannell came out with it. Several other people said this was about them not joining a conference, and you're pushing everybody. Now they're saying we're not playing in a bowl game. So I know they have their own TV contract, but we're not playing in a conference. We're not playing in a bowl game. Who needs them? They're going to cut off their nose to spite their face soon. They're saying, well, you know what? We don't care. We have our own network. We can play anybody you want. You can play anybody you want until teams don't want to play you.
Yeah.
So that's the Notre Dame thing. I'm happy as heck. As you can tell, we're in, and it's just an exciting day. By the way, this is the FTSN network. Bobby and the crew do a great job. Thankful for them every day. So like and subscribe, the FTSN network. Bobby does a lot of Dolphin chat as well. And by the way, the Dolphins won today. They're 5th out of 6 wins, which is amazing. If you would have told me before the season the Dolphins win 5 out of 6, I would think, hey, we're battling for the lead in the AFC. Not that, if we win every game, we may or may not make the playoffs, but pretty amazing that team has not given up.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Inter Miami won the championship last night. Not if there's anybody out there that cares, but we have so now we are a championship city again because we have the Panthers back to back in Sunrise, and we have the Inter Miami who also plays in Fort Lauderdale right now. So
how about the Heat who found their footing again?
The Heat have been playing well. So maybe the Hurricanes can join them. Maybe we can roll off 4 in a row, and we can go ahead and join these teams as a champion. As I mentioned, I think last show, this was only the first year since 2022, since 2002, that we won 10 games and won our last 4 during the regular season. So let's see, maybe we will get another chance at Ohio State, and this year we can avenge it next week.
Yeah, Miami, like I said, they are one of the 3 best teams I've watched.
I believe it. No doubt about it.
Over the last 2 weeks of the season.
That's why I hated Notre Dame said, we can run the table. We would be favored over you. Like, who cares? You were favored of us the first time. So you don't think just because you think you can run the table, just because you haven't beaten anybody. You haven't beaten anybody that's in the playoffs, but you'll beat them all this time. We're 1-0 against teams in the playoffs. Or no, we're 0-0 against teams in the playoffs because Notre Dame's not there anymore. But the other thing, we are sponsored by CanesWear, the Spot Miami Fan Shop. We do have a really cool selection coming in of CFP shirts. We've got that one we're in with the helmet. We've got that in orange and green. We have the Adidas shirt as well. We've got a hat coming in. We've got some flags coming in. A lot of great things, CFP. I mean, this is a real feel-good moment for the Canes. I wore my 5-ring POW shirt. Maybe one day we'll get the 6-ring, and then I'll have to figure out what to do on the other hand. See, we got a hand right here.
The other one's got to have the I won't say it.
Okay. Exactly. So
a certain finger on the other hand.
Exactly. So we've got that would be good if we can do that. So CanesWear, the Spot Miami Fan Shop. If you're going to the Texas A&M game, I don't know how cold right now. It's only 60s, but it could get cold. I know every time you play a bowl.
The early projections for the weather for that, it's still more than 2 weeks out, so it could definitely change. But I saw something of highs of 72 or 73 and lows of 58.
So you won't need to buy starter jackets for there. But maybe the next week when we play Ohio State, and were we in Jimmy Stadium for that one?
Believe so, yeah. It would be the Cotton Bowl.
Yes. Not Jimmy. What is it? Jimmy's Jimmy Johnson.
No, you're talking about, oh my God, Cowboys owner.
Jerry Stadium. Jerry Stadium. That's right. So we're going Texas back to back if we win. I was really hoping we'd be going to the Orange Bowl. I told everybody we were going to the Orange Bowl. How did we go to? How are we going? Is it because the higher?
It has to do with what the committee did, and some of that is along the lines why you saw Alabama number 9 instead of Miami, and then Alabama not being a number 10. I think they should have been flipped, but committee kind of explained there that they didn't want Miami to have a sort of pseudo home game in the Orange Bowl in the second round. So I get it. Fairness.
Makes sense. I wanted it for many reasons, sales being one of them.
Oh, yeah.
But it's a great day to be a Hurricane fan. Everybody here is excited. We're gonna start the questions and comments in a minute. Gio, you got anything to add? Anything before we do?
No, just I hope Miami fans are today is celebration. Tomorrow is everyone lock in, watch film, do everything you absolutely can and that you could in terms of trying to make it there for the playoff game. Miami's made history. I mean, 2 back-to-back 10-win seasons. Now they're in the playoff. Look, I get it. Things were gloomy there late October, first day of November, but things have shifted very quickly. The perspective has changed very fast. And yes, it's great that they're in, but they got to make the most of it too. You have to play as if you belong.
Absolutely. One other thing, my son Matthew, as everybody knows, is a UVA fan. He likes Miami, but he's a UVA fan. He was a tough loss last night for UVA against Duke. Matthew was very upset they didn't get a chance to play the best team. Like Duke had everything to win and nothing to lose in that game. So tough to see. I mean, good and bad. I had no problems with Manny, but Manny to go ahead and get an ACC championship before us. But I would trade that ACC championship for the playoffs right now.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, Virginia, tough loss to them. Do we think so? Sorry, Matthew. I know then the reffing was terrible. And I said, now you know how it is to be a Cane fan. The reffing was atrocious. And these same guys get to ref games and they're just terrible. I think that crew was the SMU crew that against us in SMU.
Jerry Magallanes and his
I think
crew.
so. So, definitely a tough victory. And UVA fought hard. Let's just say UVA would have got in. Do you think at all there would have been an ACC team then? Do you think at all they may have said, do you think there was any pressure to say, if Miami doesn't get in for this one, that means there's one team in the Big 12 and ACC total, one team combined. Do you think that would have been a little bit of flack for the committee?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And regardless, even with Miami getting in, this is more than proof enough that, like I've been saying for some time, I don't think it'll happen this year or the year after, but 2028, 2029, around that those year markers, basically, Miami's got to find their way out. I know Big Ten has a lot of interest in them. I think that would be a great landing spot for Miami. It would renew a lot of old rivalries that this school has had that maybe newer generation fans don't know about, but some serious games between Miami, Michigan way back. Several others, Miami, Penn State, several teams in that Big Ten that have history with Miami there. And not only that, getting Miami USC matchups, the both very similar schools, just on the West Coast, other East Coast, those would be nice. So yeah, Miami's got to find their way out. And I think it will eventually happen. I think there's a lot of pressure just from the committee and the rest of college football that they're trying to push the power too. They're going to have a super league between two conferences, and you got to find your way into the Big Ten or SEC.
I still don't see the advantage. I know it's going to be like an AFC, NFC, but let's just say Notre Dame they're not going to. Well, let's say they decide they want to come to the ACC. They're not going to do it unless it's already cut that division is going to stay. That conference is going to stay. So we'll see what happens. So let's get to the questions and comments. Thank you all for joining us on this special edition Sunday night. Juan Manuel, the Canes shall rise again like a fiery phoenix to stick a trident up Joey Galloway, ESPN, and Notre Dame's arse. We made you all biatches. Juan Manuel does bring the comedy and the lines. So, folks, you get a little bit of spice of Juan Manuel when you're joining it here. Gio, Brett, and Mando. We should have Mando soon. Miss Hudson and Big Bill are up here in Chapel Hill. Would like to applaud and congratulate Mario and the boys. Bill still thinks CFP ESPN should spank and whip Raw. Okay. At the beginning of the show, he reads everything. Gio, how are the spirits of the team from what you're hearing? Also, the health of the team. Blay, OJ, Federic, and Keontae Scott.
Blay and OJ will be good to go. Keontae Scott, it's still up in the air. So you could put that at a 50-50.
So we could have everybody back for this game.
Yeah, team's relatively healthy.
Okay, Mr. Jake, welcome to the show. Woot, woot, what up, guys? We made it in. Not that I really doubted that we would. It's a dang shame what happened to Notre Dame, though. I really figured Bama should have been dumped their ass, and we do agree with that. I think Gio and I both agree. Alabama, I mean, they may beat Oklahoma because I actually think Alabama and Oklahoma are two teams that should not be in this.
Oklahoma with that terrible offense. Oh my God.
Terrible offenses. So one of them is, so they almost made it. Let's make it so one of them advances. Let's make it so one. That's what they did.
I'll put it to you this way. Oklahoma is this year's 2024 Miami, but in reverse. Their defense, wow. Spectacular defense. They actually lead the country in least amount of points per game allowed. However, that offense, dreadfully bad. They're literally the reverse 2024 Miami Hurricanes. It's really weird to watch them. Even to this day, you go back to the game when they played against Alabama a few weeks back. If they didn't grab that pick six, they don't win that game at all. Their defense won them that game, which, again, defense wins championships, but in the newer eras of college and pro football, you got to have some level of offense. You can't just lean entirely on your defense.
Correct. Well, in that respect, you can say Alabama is the Canes of last year also. Their offense was so bad yesterday. I mean, outside of that one drive where they got 3 or 4 penalties, and they scored on that game, because I thought if they shut them out, there was no doubt, in my opinion, Alabama was not getting in. And I will say, I'm in Publix with the wife. We're getting some things after dinner. I'm watching the game on my TV. And all of a sudden, Alabama scores that touchdown after they got penalty after penalty after penalty. I took my phone, and I was in the self-checkout, and she was checking out, and I launched it on the ground. Brand new phone. It did not break, and I'm like, and I screamed as my wife had it. You also said, it's so good to be mature. Mr. Jake, it's time to unleash 2 decades worth of hurt, hell, and fury. I agree. That actually may be a good shirt. Gilbert Reyes, it's great to be. You all know the rest. Absolutely. Let's see. I said the Kid Javi. Is that how I say it? The Kid Javi. We want all the smoke. Absolutely, Gilbert. Canes, go Canes. Has anyone felt euphoric all day, or is it just me, Mr. Jake? It has been surreal, I think. I have been in a daze all day. Yesterday, I posted more than I ever posted in my life. I felt like Gio. I had like 800,000 views, Gio, yesterday. It was a record for me. But how have you felt, Gio, today? Euphoric?
At first, I was very quiet, and then, I saw it come in. The little ticker right across the middle of the screen, it showed orange or green Miami. I just looked at it and said, wow, they did the right thing. I literally said it to myself just sitting here in the living room watching it. And then I think it kind of settled in about like 20, 30 minutes after, because my kids came out to the living room. They were playing. I jumped up, and my wife looked at me like, what the heck is wrong with you? And I said, the Canes are going to the playoffs.
The Canes are going to I was literally going to be afraid to look. I watched this, Garrett, and I saw that. And I'm so happy it didn't go backwards. I remember it went from top to bottom. And I'm saying, let's go at least see our name. We'd always see our name, or too early. Now we saw it early. It was great. But
they did it on purpose for show.
Absolutely. And listen, they got it. I don't know what their ratings were, but they definitely, if it's all about ratings, they got it. Jester Jake 2, we got a freaking shot. Yeah, absolutely. We are in the bleeping game. The work is not done, Gilbert. Absolutely. It's time to unleash the Kraken. Gio, any insight? And Scott, you just said he's 50-50, correct?
Yeah.
That's better than he was. So that's good. Miami Sports 72, welcome to the show. Let's go, Canes. Absolutely. Patrick, Miami made the playoffs in Joey the Clown Galloway's face. Let's do this. I still wanted that crying Jordan shirt with his Michael Joey Galloway with the Jordan face.
Oh, that would be perfect.
Gilbert, holding a post at the Yale School of Medicine with my tablet open, waiting for you all to finish your croquettes. There you go. Juan Manuel, are we on Cuban time again? This is actually before we started. Let's see. We're about to start. We finally started. Mr. Jake, I'm watching the replay of Toast on the Orangeville Boys while he waited. I wish I didn't have the guts to do it. I was going to tape me and Garrett because I didn't want to just have it on tape if we didn't get it. But did you see what the thing of Toast? Did you see his thing on? He went crazy. He got like 350,000 likes on that one, or views. It was views. It was amazing. Just him, and that was great. I assume that's what. There's some Spanish there from Gilbert if you want to read it.
Si no es el picadillo, son las croquetas.
We're gonna pick up some croquetas.
He said basically what he said is if we're not eating picadillo, we're gonna eat croquetas.
All right. Let's see if we can get some comments here. Let's go, Shobio Kane. We said last week if we win, if we get in, we're going to be doing the show, and I will be truthful, Gino. We were not doing it if we lost. It definitely would have been too depressing. A loss, didn't get in. So right now we won, and that's all that counts. Callie Cam, the U is not back, but we are becoming relevant again.
I agree. Miami's not back until they win a title again.
Yeah, I'd say we're back. I think if we win a playoff game or two, If we can beat Texas A&M and Ohio State, we're not back as a champion, but listen, if Texas A&M was top 3 team all season till Texas beat them, and then Ohio State is obviously, Ohio State is going to be smoking. I would have rather had them win the game. Of course, then we wouldn't be playing them.
By the way, about Texas A&M, their fans have already been getting a little rowdy already, even after the selection and stuff. Had some Texas A&M fans come into my mention on Twitter already saying, we're going to smoke. Even Notre Dame fans teaming up with Texas A&M fans, who they lost to, by the way, which is quite ironic. Teaming up with Texas A&M fans, telling Miami fans, or even telling me too, that, oh, you guys are going to get smoked in the first round. It's going to be a short-lived playoff appearance, and blah, 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 this and that. You know what's funny, though? That Texas team that Texas A&M lost to, that Texas team also lost to Florida. I'm just saying, I'm not saying that guarantees what the matchup ends up, like the result in the end. But, hey, I'm just saying.
Who did Texas A&M beat this year?
Not too many.
They had the easy schedule, right? They didn't have Texas's schedule, that's for sure.
No, they didn't.
All right, but that is true. The U is not back, but we are getting there. Back-to-back 10-win seasons. H. Canes, we got Gio and Brett, and we got H. Canes in the house. Great to hear from you. Danny Boy Kane, welcome to the show. Good evening, gentlemen. It's great to be a Miami Hurricane. On to Texas.
The legendary Danny Boy Kane.
Danny Boy Kane joining us. We're making something for ourselves here, Gio. Jonathan Campo, let's go playoff bound. Absolutely. Do we get a CanesWear discount code to celebrate H. Canes? Well, today we've got 20% to 70% on all apparel. So jump on there right now, 20% off till $11.59 on all shirts. The shirts that are the CFP shirts aren't, but all shirts are 20%. But I do like that idea. When there's not a sale, I should give out a discount code. So I do like that. Let's go.
I just looked through Texas A&M schedule. The only team that finished ranked on Texas A&M schedule was Notre Dame, who Miami also beat, and Texas A&M beat them by 1 point. So we shall see.
All right, so they didn't play anybody either. So we have that in common. I mean, they lost to Texas, big whoop. I always say if you lose to a team, anybody can lose. That's what Notre Dame, we lost to these good teams. Well, great.
Great losses are better than great wins.
Exactly. The Dolphins lost to the Super Bowl champ like 3 years in a row. What were they, runner-up?
Yeah.
I'd like to lose instead of winning. Makes no sense. That's the new thing. Yeah, I'd rather be a bigger loser. Anyway, Nick Adams, welcome to the show. Let's go. Wonder if the ACC video of Miami Notre Dame game or flying the head-to-head matters. Put Miami in. That's a good point. What did they play, like 112 times in a row?
Oh, yeah. They played it a whole bunch of times in a row.
That was great marketing, actually. And
I do think the banner sent a very clear message, though.
I think the banner was good. Do you know who did the banner? You can't say, or?
I've heard a few things from some circles.
Okay. It was a great idea, though. But listen, the marketing of the University of Miami and the surrounding. I mean, we had Marco Rubio talking. We had the governor talk. We had everybody that's anybody jumping in and talking. And everybody watched the game again. A lot of people said I had to watch the game again, the broadcast, to see how Miami just kicked their ass. We destroyed them. It wasn't, we dominated. We beat them up. And then Notre Dame says, how'd you beat us up? We only lost by 3. I mean,
let their foot off the gas, which they learned this year to not do anymore.
What we have 21-7 in that game?
Yes.
Okay, going into the fourth?
Going into the fourth.
Yeah, so we definitely let up that game. Juan Manuel, something with Joey Gallo, machete.
Los Canes están dentro del culo de Joey Galloway y Notre Dame con un machete.
And what is that?
Vulgar. Basically, Miami lives rent-free in Joey Galloway's head.
Absolutely. Let's see. 1 milligram of epinephrine. I was absolutely wrong. Well, it's better to be wrong and happy than right and unhappy. That's what I would say.
Yeah.
And you can rack that comment if you'd like. Mr. J, no, okay. Brett Brett had to pay for the banner plane. I like that. I like that. Shh. That's what I was trying to find out. Good job there. Never been more happy to be wrong about the CFP. I agree. I did a video. I put it on Facebook, not on X, and my son's screaming. I said, "Thank you, committee. Thank you." And someone sent me, "Brett, you hate the committee." I thought, I love them now. My hate does not last long. Let's see. I thought we had no chance. A lot of people thought we had no chance. Sandy, thank you for reposting the stream. Renaud Longton, rumor is that they let Miami know. They let Miami know yesterday they were in. Any validity to that, Gio?
No, I didn't hear about that. No.
I don't think you can tell one person and not getting out to everybody. But I
put it
was
to you this way,
scared to death when FanDuel had those odds.
The fact that Vegas had odds like that and they ended up not being right or just accurate, I think the committee did a good job of keeping that
very good,
not letting it out.
I got for the lawsuit I was working on, not that I was going to do it, but I was, if we did lose that, I went and bought a $10. I have a little bit more than that on Miami, but I bought a $10 ticket for Miami at 100-1 and a $10 ticket for Notre Dame, a $20 ticket Miami 100-1 and a $20 ticket for Notre Dame. And the guy said, Miami may not even make it. I said, that's why I'm suing. He said, this is the guy at the Hard Rock at the counter. And he says, really? He said, I think Miami's good. And the other guy says, I think Notre Dame should be in. And they were having an argument right there. So everybody was bringing this up. We were the coffee, the coffee table, the water cooler topic of everything. Everybody in the world knew that, Gio.
I'll give credit to Miami and Notre Dame, both teams, on something. They're planning on having their game in November next year, which I think is much better. You don't have this discourse of, oh, well, it was in August or technically the beginning of September or whatever. Now, next year, there's actual implications for it late in the season. So you don't have to cancel the game. As you know, it was done right. Miami was let in. And the other reasoning is no longer going to be an opening game. Now you have it later on in the season, which I think is going to have more value to it.
It definitely will. It definitely will have value, and I do believe that that's going to be a huge game for us. Notre Dame's obviously going to be good again, and we're going to be good hopefully, and that's going to be an exciting game. A lot of people are going to make that trip. I'd love to go to Notre Dame to see a game. Actually, I've never been there. Let's see, Mr. Jake. I was screaming Brett, and then I went on Facebook and Twitter collecting on the bookmarks that I made. That's the good thing when you can do that. 1 milligram. Yes, they reported that Mario found out late last night. Wow. What is that? That's interesting. If that is really the case. And the fans were sitting there. Well, what's the point of telling them, the coach?
Honestly,
not to make other plans? Mario, just in case, don't make plans for December 20th. I was going fishing with the boys. Danny Boy Kane, the big clue, like you said, Brett, was Bama staying at 9. If 9 had said Notre Dame, it was over. But we get that last spot and on to College Station. Exactly. And they've been saying all along that if Miami and Notre Dame were head-to-head, back-to-back, they would go ahead and look at Miami. The question is, like Joey Galloway did say, the committee said we were not comparing Miami at all, even though when they're one spot away. Why? Do these guys know how to do their job? Yeah. What did BYU have to do with Miami and Notre Dame? Nothing.
It was constant buffers.
Mm-hmm. 1 milligram. Notre Dame is screwing itself by not going to a bowl. I've seen a lot of people say that, and one day I know when the U.S. didn't go to the Olympics many years ago. Those kids, I think, when 80, they didn't go to get the Summer Olympics. They train. These kids in Notre Dame are there. One day they're going to have to say, hey, yeah, how many bowls did you go to? I went to 3, but one year we all decided we didn't want to go. Yeah. So I understand the game is you don't want to get beat. I think they want to stay 10-2. They don't want to be 10-3 because, like Florida State got destroyed in the Orange Bowl because nobody was playing against Georgia. They could say, then people, say, oh, you wouldn't have won anyway. Look how bad you are. Yeah. So that I can understand from that viewpoint. Brett sounds like he is high as a kite. Brett sounds like, Gio, better Notre Dame be screwed than us.
Yeah, that's very true.
That's very true. Let's go, Mr. Hey. Welcome to the show. Notre Dame join a conference. I agree. They're putting pressure on Notre Dame to join a conference.
Absolutely.
F Notre Dame, F Alabama too, Gilbert. Absolutely. I actually went to a Notre Dame Alabama bowl game back in the 70s in the Orange Bowl.
Really?
Juan Manuel, karma came a calling. That is very true. That's actually a cool show too. Karma came a calling. Time to open up this offense and let Carson cook, Gilbert. Yeah, speaking of that, what do we know about Texas A&M? Are they good run defense, good pass defense?
They got really good receivers.
Good
They got a pretty good. I think the other kid's like a redshirt freshman receiver, that one of them, and then the other two, Mario Craver and Kevin Concepcion, both really talented. Miami's very familiar with Concepcion. They looked at him in the portal and they faced him for a bit too in the ACC. He's a dynamic player himself. So Miami's defensive backs will definitely have a challenge on their hands. It would be very key for Miami to get Keontae Scott back for this game. I know he's been very on top of his rehabilitation process ever since he's been out. So we shall see. There's another 2 weeks until that game. So
great news, Gio. Boys and girls out there in CanesWear podcast land. Mando will join us in 10 minutes. 10-minute alert for Mando. So make sure you're all ready for that. Juan Heather Dinnish is a witch. I really thought her name was Dinch. Heather Dinnish is a witch. I thought it was Dinch is a winch. Is a winch. Front runner. Absolutely. Her Miami bias is real. And like Gio said at the beginning of the season, she said this game is going to determine who wins the tiebreaker.
yeah, and then she went back on that.
Yes. Heather Dinich was all torn up about the selection. Her reaction was so unprofessional. I agree. She was sitting there like, it's something she wanted Alabama, which is okay. You're allowed to want it, but come out and admit it. Like, I didn't know this guy, who is it? Brett Fernwood or Greenwood or what's his name? He came out like blasted with the F word and something like that. Bruce Feldman.
Bruce Feldman, yes.
I didn't realize, he said, but when I was watching the show, he said, but Bruce Feldman did go to the university. Which school did he go to? University of Miami. So, but it didn't. I thought half these people were Canes the way they were sitting there ripping the committee. Canes Jones, thank you for reposting the stream. Good evening. We in the dance, baby. Absolutely. Heather, come see these Miami Knights and like it. Mr. Jake, I can't stand her. Her smug demeanor just kept pissing me off the more and more I saw that back on TV. We have turned into the Roast Heather show. Heather is Heather's on a run. Heather said whoever wins and finishes with the same record, they should get in because head-to-head matters. But she changed her mind when it was Miami won. So did she say that before the game? She said it after too, I thought, right?
Yeah, she said it. She said it after Miami and Notre Dame were done with their game. It was on either September 1st or 2nd, and it's just the irony how she went back on that and started coming up with a whole bunch of ramble, basically, the last few weeks.
Absolutely, she lost all credibility, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Gilbert, her head is so big she got to wear a lampshade as a hat. So I love about this show. You know, people can just let it rip. Juan Manuel, how many ACC played on the 2025 schedule?
I think he's talking about Notre Dame's. They had 6 teams from the ACC in their schedule.
Okay. Hassan, 2 teams that were upset that Miami got over Notre Dame. 2 teams that were upset was, of course, those Notre Dame fans, especially that Malik Zaire, and also those moron FSU fans, because they are the biggest hater fan base ever.
Yeah, I had a FSU fan go on this rampage the other week telling me, he's like, I hope you guys don't make it so you could feel my pain from a few years ago, and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like thinking to myself when reading this, I'm like, dude, like, what is your problem? Like, what? So Miami's got to feel your pain because Florida State didn't get in, or I'll be honest, Florida State should have got in that year. Absolutely.
100%.
Got screwed for Alabama, just like Notre Dame just got screwed for Alabama.
Florida State even worse. I know it was 4. They put in, what, a 3-loss Alabama team that year or 2-loss?
Yeah, I think it was like a 2-loss, yeah.
And speaking of Alabama, last year, you know, people were saying Alabama shouldn't drop because SMU didn't drop. But SMU only had 1 loss. So there's the bowl game, they lost their second game, which is the same amount of games we lost. Alabama had 3 losses last year. 2 of them were to 6-6 teams, so they should have never been ahead of us.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
I mean, it is BS that the SEC dominates, and even more so than the Big Ten. I mean, the SEC gets everything. Did anyone see the SEC commissioner say, we should have 7 teams in this? It's like, makes no sense. Is he coming in?
Yeah, Mando's coming in. Let me try to pull him up through here.
Notre Dame hasn't done a damn thing in 30 years of being propped up by the media, all the resources and top 10 class, etc. They have done nothing to deserve the pedestal they have been placed on. That's 100% true, H. Canes. 100% true. And they ripped us off in that Cleveland Gary didn't fumble game, too. And it wasn't their fault, 1988, which I think that was Steve Walsh's only loss in his whole time as being a Cane. And welcome to the show without any further ado, the man, the myth, the legend himself, the magic, marvelous, magnificent Mando. Welcome, Mando.
What's up, guy? Gio, Brett, everybody, what's going on?
Everybody's doing fantastic here.
Yeah,
You heard the good news?
I'm gonna jump. Yeah, we'll get to that in a second. I'm gonna jump on audio only in a sec because the wife left the house, and I've got the twins to myself. Everything is fine, I promise. I'm like looking inside, and I'm like, I got 3 seconds here, so I'm gonna do audio the rest of the way. But when I saw Alabama on that screen, damn, that felt good, right? Damn, like you knew it. I forgot who I texted. I was like, we in. He was like, no, we're not. I'm like, that's it. The committee said it for 5-6 weeks. The moment we got it one-on-one, I'm stunned, but not stunned that Alabama didn't move. There's different rules for them in the SEC. It's apparent. BYU loses, they're done. Alabama gets killed, they just stay at 9. No big deal. Why not? 3 losses. It's different rules. It is what it is, but we're in the dance, baby, and we got a shot. Just like any other team that's in there. I wouldn't want to face us, would you? I mean, it's a big challenge. We got 100,000 fans.
Miami's played better than almost any team in November, basically.
Absolutely.
They're right there with any other team.
Mm-hmm.
It's a really good team. You know, College Station, 100,000 fans. Honestly, I'm surprised. I don't know if you guys have touched on it yet, but the noon game, I'm surprised. I figured it would be 8 p.m. Friday or Saturday, but hey, I don't make the TV schedule, but it should be fun. It should be a hell of a matchup. I think A&M's, what, a 3.5-point favorite?
Yeah, the lines have been a little different. I've seen from some places 3.5, 4.5, 5.5. That's around the range right now.
Oh, yeah. I saw the whole Texas game. I know it's not a big sample size, one game. I mean, you could say this about any football game, but focus on stopping the run. But, yeah, they're going to have a big home field advantage. But I know Miami's going to be out to prove. They don't want to go in there and get blown out because then they're going to hear, yeah, you see, they should have never gotten in. And they're going to be motivated. It's going to be on the ESPN. And after the original show, they talked about that Beck is turnover prone and this and that. And I'm like, have they watched the last 5 weeks? I'm like, they're just like spewing crap. So I'm just happy that we said it on Tuesday, right? Hey, if we get in, we'll get out here on Sunday. We are in. We are one of the final 8 teams, 12 teams. Well, should I say 10? Do I kind of count James Madison and Tulane?
We're not playing them.
Those games are going to be a slaughterhouse.
I mean, Oregon, with all due respect, I had actually about half an hour ago, I was talking to my neighbor. He's like, oh, but aren't you for the underdog? Of course, we all love the underdog, but this is big money college football. A 21-point dog in round 1? Come on, bro. Like, and I can't stand Notre Dame. I can't stand Texas Vanderbilt, but they got screwed because you got 2 teams in there that shouldn't be there. 11 and 12 should not be in there. And you want to include other teams, fine, but this ain't the 64-team NCAA bracket, but forget about them. We are in the playoff, guys. That's it. We're in. Can you believe it? Yeah.
I can't believe it.
Come on. I can't believe it either.
I know. It's surreal.
Yeah, because in the morning, Notre Dame was at minus 1,300 to get in. Like, that is crazy. I thought they were a lock, to be honest with you. I'm shocked. I'm like mildly surprised. Once they put Alabama on the screen, there's the couch. I jumped. I was like, oh shit, we're in. Like, how? Nice. It was awesome, man. What a feeling. Can't wait. Can't wait.
Euphoria, baby. Euphoria. Once, like you said, Alabama, because everybody thought it was going to get slotted in. So the whole day, have you felt like you're on a high?
Let me tell you, one game should not, to me, determine, but Alabama hasn't been good for 6 weeks, guys.
Oh, yeah, for weeks now.
Alabama has not been good for 6 weeks.
They're getting the benefit of the doubt for brand name.
Yeah. And
the house that Nick Saban built. Nick Saban's not there anymore.
So apparently 3 losses. I mean, if you don't want to count the last one, fine. The committee harped on. They said it 5 weeks ago. Oh, Alabama's having a problem running the football. They ran for -3 yards yesterday.
Exactly.
And I had money on Georgia. Not gonna lie, because I figured revenge factor. They lost the first one. I will say if we're fortunate to get that far, that would be after the Ohio State game in the semis. Georgia's going to be a problem. Georgia's defensively is really good. Really, really good. Georgia's good. That's going to be if we make it to the think about it. If we're fortunate enough to make it to the championship, we got to get by A&M, Ohio State, and the winner of Ole Miss, Georgia. You talk about a fucking gauntlet.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man, if we make it to the championship, that would be crazy. But we're in. We got a shot, and I said it all season. Anything less than the playoffs?
You called it. You said it from the beginning. No doubt. You know, Texas A&M has the same gauntlet we do, except for they're facing us in the first game. I mean, they got no favors whatsoever. That they win. They were right there, undefeated the whole season, right? Beat Notre Dame.
Yeah.
And they went ahead and they have to beat us. Then they have to beat Ohio State. Then they have to beat Georgia if Georgia's around. Like, why aren't we in the side with Oklahoma and Alabama?
Oh,
I would love to play Alabama right now or Oklahoma.
The NFL does it the right way. The NFL does it. They reseed after the first round.
Why isn't this being reseeded?
To me, because if you're the 1 seed or the 2 seed, you should be playing the lowest seed remaining. But that's how they choose not to do it. But whatever.
Who's the 5 is Mississippi is 5. They're playing James Madison.
No. 5 is Oregon.
5 is Oregon, who I don't think is that good.
Oregon's a 21-point favorite. Not that you would bet on that, Brett, but
exactly. So they're 21. Mississippi plays Tulane.
6 and 11, correct? Yeah.
James Madison.
No. Oregon plays James Madison.
And Tulane and Mississippi can't be that far from each other, right?
Well, Tulane played Ole Miss this season. They already played once. Tulane played at them.
Aren't they right around the corner from each other? Isn't Tulane in Louisiana?
Tulane's in New Orleans, if I'm not mistaken.
Exactly. And Mississippi, they're right there. This is basically like the LSU deal.
I don't remember what the final score was, but I think Ole Miss handled them, but it's a rematch, so we'll see.
So those teams are rematches. And Alabama's got Oklahoma, and then they've got
2 teams that are not playing. Well, Oklahoma's defense is good. I'll give them that. Their offense stinks. So I'm not on that game.
One of those teams to advance. They wanted. I really thought everybody was calling for us to be number 9, but they didn't want to move Alabama down. They could have moved them down 1 slot.
Absolutely.
And put us at 9. And then that wasn't dropping them out of the playoffs. That was just slapping them on the wrist for saying, hey, you guys suck.
No, obviously, and if you tell me Oklahoma or A&M, I would have said Oklahoma. I'd rather prefer them because A&M is more dangerous on offense. But
then we wouldn't have had Ohio State.
Yeah, but we can't.
No, I'm
just happy to be in. I'm just happy to be in.
The thing is, they know who's going to be playing, and they say, let's give Alabama a better shot.
I will say this. I was flipping back and forth between Indiana, Ohio State, and Duke, Virginia. And I saw the whole Oregon game. Indiana impressed me. Indiana's defense is very underrated. The Ohio State got inside the 10-yard line twice. And I will say this. I don't know what the hell Ryan Day's doing on 4th and 1. The second time kicking I'm not saying it because he missed it. Dude, you're down by 3. Your defense is lights out. Go for it. If they stop you, they stop you. That's it. Like, I'm shocked he went for a tying field goal. But Indiana, if they played again, I think Ohio State would beat them. But hopefully we'll beat Ohio State first. So we'll see what happens.
That would be awesome. Just one team we're going to talk about, Texas Tech, while we got you here, Mondo. And
Texas Tech.
That number 13, is he a beast? That kid in the middle?
Roberts and was it Rodriguez or something? Their linebacker crew. I mean, I know they spent money like crazy, but their defense is serious.
That Roberts was getting the Butkus. So I thought he was a safety. I mean, he looks like a safety, and they said he won the Butkus Award, and the guy was like just making catches, dominating the middle of the field.
Well, if Oregon beats, which they should beat, James Madison, they would play Texas Tech in the quarters. That would be a hell of a 4-5 matchup. That's nice. That's a good matchup.
I'll be honest, I got a hot take. I don't think Texas Tech has played anyone either.
They have not.
No. We'll see. Now we'll see for sure who's who. I will say that defense does look good, though. Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
How good is BYU?
They're world beaters until they face Texas Tech, apparently.
Yeah, you couldn't. I know. You know the guy from Barstool was Provo Dave, but they were not. Yeah. They were, what's it called? You play a team twice. The object's to find the best team in college football. If you get blown out with the same team twice, you're not going to win.
No, and I told you on Tuesday, didn't I? Look what happened. Not that I've been wrong before.
No,
it's all about name brand. BYU loses, they're totally off the map. Alabama loses.
I think Mando had cut out.
Did we lose him?
I think so for a second.
One of the kids pulled the plug. The twins are on the loose. The twins are on the loose. Mama's out. I got Daddy Mando here. I'll get to a few more comments. H. Kane said before they haven't done a thing in 30 years. That is correct. They keep thinking like we have this great history. They did win the championship in '88 when we got jobbed, but we've won 5 championships, and they've won their one. So, yeah, and they talk about them. It's not like they've done anything over the last since that championship. They haven't done.
You know what's funny? Funny thing you bring that up, Brett. I had a Notre Dame fan tell me they're like, "Oh, irrelevant ass Miami." Blah 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 blah. In a conversation, I said, "Wow, so Miami's so irrelevant, right?" And the Miami fans so delusional, but yet last time Notre Dame won a title was 1988. Like, what has Notre Dame done since? And the guy's like, "Oh, well, we've made like a title appearance or two or whatever." And that's when I told him, I said, "Yeah, and you look like you didn't belong."
Have they been number 1 ranked at all in like the last several years, Notre Dame?
I'm not sure, to be honest with you.
I don't think so, but I do recall in 2017 they got to number 2, and before they got slaughtered by Miami. They got to number 2, and then they got slaughtered.
Yeah.
All right, Mando, jump in anytime you want. You still there? All right, Mr. Jake, I want it all, like we all do, absolutely. Canes Jones, we're not to worry about our QB playing just in the first half this year. This is true. Do we think that, speaking of Carson Beck, is looking better? I know we had the bad game against SMU, but is he, when he's trying to throw deep every play, he doesn't seem like he's throwing the ball behind people as much. Do you think the injury was part of the reason, or do you think just he's changing some things up, Gio?
He's gotten progressively better over the season. I think there's also been some changes with the offense too.
Awesome. H. Kane seems like a lot of teams turned the bowl down. Baylor just did. Interesting. Baylor.
Yeah, they did.
What's their record?
Well, I know they don't have double-digit wins. I'd have to look it up.
But don't these teams want the practice? I don't understand. And the money? I guess it costs money to practice and travel and all that stuff. So, Mr. Jake, I want the team and the coaches to shut the outside shit up and make all the haters eat their words. We would all love that. Absolutely. Robert Holub, welcome to the show. Longtime Facebook friend and customer of the store. Want. Just to breathe. I think Mario is not letting off the gas to stop to refill. I hope so.
I agree.
Mario is, we didn't play the second half of that game against, which we all thought we were out. The game that we scored the last second touchdown. Who was it? The game before this past game. Who was that against? Not North Carolina State. We were up. We let them know. Maybe it was Virginia Tech. We let Virginia Tech get back in the game.
Oh, yeah.
And we let them, and then we threw the touchdown like the last second. Hopefully Mario is that kind of guy now. We're going for the kill.
Sorry, guys. I'm back, guys. Sorry, I had a little issue here, but I'll stay on audio if I could, if that's cool.
That's 100% cool.
But yeah, I mean, I told you guys before, and sorry about all the noise here. It's crazy here, but I told you guys before that when people say, "Oh, it's good that they lost," I never buy that bullshit. But the SMU loss appears to be a good thing for us.
Mm-hmm.
It's a different. It is. We're a different team. Anybody that followed this team, unlike that ESPN crew at 3:00 that I was watching that said Beck has been a turnover machine. I don't know what the hell they've been watching the last month, but
Yeah.
that's a scoreboard watching or whatever the hell they're doing. But it is. The way we were playing, we weren't going to win nothing big, you know, the way we were playing before. Now they're playing with a purpose. Now, I mean, odds-wise, is it likely we win it all? If you look at everybody overall, we are a long shot, I guess, but we have as much chance as anybody else. I wouldn't want to play us right now. I'm a Cane guy. I would not want to play Miami right now. They're a dangerous team. They're a veteran team. They got two great lines on both sides. They can rush the passer. They can block. They got a veteran QB. Yeah, it's going to be tough up there in Texas, but we can win. Why not? Absolutely we can win.
You know, I think we're going to be underdogs every game now, which is kind of neat.
For sure. Good.
We've only been underdog one game this year, right? Notre Dame?
We were like a 3-point dog in that game, yes.
Yeah. So every other game we've been – and it's not like we were like too big of an under. We were what, 15 points, 17 points against Louisville? 15 points against SMU.
I think it was 14.
Yeah, so it's good to be an underdog once in a while. The Canes right now are 20-1. As I told people, we were 150-1 a week ago, 100-1 a few days ago, then 60-1. So it's kind of neat that I said if we get in, we're going to be 20-1. So we are indeed. We're actually, I think we're a better favorite than Alabama right now. Let's see. Alabama is 22-1. Ole Miss is 22-1. Oklahoma is 50-1. So we're right now the 8th favorite. Texas A&M is only 14-1. Texas Tech 8.5. Oregon 8.5. Georgia 5.5 to 1. Indiana plus 260, so 2.5 to 1, and Ohio State 2.5 to 1.
I think that's fair.
Yeah. So when we play Ohio State, we're going to try to do something that I don't know. The last team to do it is try to have them lose 2 games in a row.
Yeah, that would.
I don't remember the last time Ohio State's lost 2 games.
Ohio State fans would be livid if that happened.
We did. Let's get there first. But if anyone's going to beat them, it's going to be us. If we don't beat them, they're going all the way. Let's go. H. Canes going to put my favorite Notre Dame reactions. So not in any particular order. Malik Zaire, more coming. All right.
Zaire, former Notre Dame quarterback / Florida Gator quarterback.
Was that it? Westside Willie, welcome to the show. Many people want to see Miami get destroyed in the first round. I agree. They were saying, a lot of people say, so you'll just get destroyed. Like Notre Dame, like, we're one of the teams that can go all the way. You can't even get out of the first round. It's like, we've proven that we can beat absolutely nobody at Notre Dame. Let's see, Manny, welcome to the show. I miss my bro Mando. He's very happy. Absolutely. No doubt about it, Manny. Bro, with those guns, do you have any eligibility left? Yes, the senior league, Robert. Thank you very much. Let's see. H. Canes up next on the Notre Dame reaction list. Talia Baya. I think that one is one of my favorites.
Yeah, that's she's a news reporter, actually. She's fairly new. Believe she's originally from, I think she studied at Notre Dame, but now she's down here in South Florida.
Yeah, she was excited for Miami. I thought when she did the thing, she was standing, she was totally unemotional, and she said, all right, did Miami get in? She was almost, she didn't know what to do, and I think then she was happy. She was ready to go crazy, and then she was happy. Let's see. Dennis Mumford, who beat 10-win teams? Miami beat Notre Dame. Bama beat Vandy and Georgia. Notre Dame beat Navy, but Navy must beat Army for their 10th win.
Yeah. Sums it
up. But what are they, 9-3? They're 9-3 or 9-2? But what are they, 8-3? I thought they're 8-3 Navy. Don't they play 12 games?
Yeah, I believe they won 9.
So they're 9-3?
Let me double check that because I don't have all the records.
Is the Army the 12th game or the 13th game? It's got to be the 12th game.
Navy is 9-2.
Navy's only lost 2 games. Interesting. I did not know that. All right. You know, that was one of their claims to fame. We beat Navy. 1 milligram. Notre Dame is screwing themselves out of 15 practices and game snaps for the young players.
Absolutely.
We will definitely see how it pays off. We know it definitely hurt the Canes a few years back when we weren't going to any bowls on the Nevin Shapiro days. We were self. We're self. What do you call it? Self-expelling us from the games. Anthony Manzano, Gio, this pisses me off. Actually, Notre Dame and God screwed Bama. Bookend their season with 2 horrible losses. How is it justified that they're in over Notre Dame?
No, I agree with you, Anthony. I think Notre Dame had a little bit of a stronger case in terms of, they won 10 games. They only lost 2. Alabama got blown off the field against Georgia. And then the week prior, they were in a dogfight with a under 500 Auburn team that was still in a coaching search. Just Alabama hasn't looked good for the past month. So, and aside from not looking good, they've lost games too. So I absolutely get what Anthony's saying. But Notre Dame fans, they should not come at Miami fans anymore. Complain with Alabama. Complain with Alabama because I think Miami and Notre Dame both should have been in.
Yeah, today should tell you guys that if you make the SEC championship, regardless, you're getting in.
Yeah,
because they got smoked yesterday. That wasn't even a ball game. I mean, that was stunning. It really was.
It was totally stunning. Mando, I was saying earlier, when they scored that touchdown against when they got Georgia got penalized 3 big plays, and I was sitting in the Publix self-serve line for checkout, and I took my phone, launched it into the ground because I thought that could be the end of us. I said, a shutout. I think they're going to fall. And I thought that was the end, but it wasn't, thankfully. But it was good to see that. But it would have been, like they say, if Alabama would have dropped out of the playoff chase. Now, they could have dropped 1 slot, I think. But let's say they dropped out of the playoff chase, okay? There probably wouldn't have been any more championship games. Or teams would have started backing out of them.
possibly.
Why play them if they're going to penalize you to play them?
I still think that's very much up for discussion about just getting rid of the conference championship games altogether. Maybe making the teams, now SEC is moving to 9-game schedule. I think it's down the pipeline that you may see 13 regular season games.
Or what about if they just go to the 16? The 16 will just be no more buys, right?
Wait, the what?
If they go to 16-team playoffs, drop the 8 championship games and go to 16-team playoffs. Or go to 20-team playoffs and give the first 4 teams buys and no more championship games.
Yeah, I don't think they'll ever do 20 because I think it'll kind of dilute the playoff a little bit because there's definitely like a drop off from like the top 10 or so teams, top 10 to 12 to 14 teams. There's definitely a drop off after that. So I think a nice sweet spot is 14 or 16 team playoff. And
they could have used 16 this year. It would have been Notre Dame, Vanderbilt, Texas.
Yeah, I think if it was a 16 team, I think they should be in.
Yeah, even Virginia. I mean, they lost 3 games, but they would have been in. But having JMU and Tulane, it's just let them have the what is it, the G4?
Yeah.
Or let them have their own championship like they used to. Or if they never had it, let the Division II had it. Let these guys have their own championship.
I agree.
Robert, I think that the other teams are afraid they can't match up well with all Miami's depth and versatility. I agree. Canes put out a good video today with Nick Saban and others talking about how if Miami gets in, watch out. They can beat anybody.
They absolutely can. When Miami is at their best, they're definitely one of the better teams in the country this year. People have witnessed that already. So as long as Miami's at their best.
Canes, Cats, Heat. Question to Brett: how many of those T-shirts have you sold? I'm thinking. Are you talking about the CFP shirts? I'm not sure which shirts you're talking about, but I'm guessing.
I believe that's the one he's talking about.
Which one?
The playoff shirts that you had put out this afternoon.
Yeah, we've sold quite a bit so far. And I don't have an exact number, but we have sold. They've done very well for just putting them up a few hours ago. And a lot of people don't buy them online because they'll just get them. But they've done really well. Imagine this. Let's see. Peanut, welcome to the show. Imagine this. We beat Texas A&M. Then we get revenge on Ohio State. Then Bex gets revenge on UGA. Then Mario gets on Oregon at home and wins the Natty. I'll take it.
I think I saw that they changed if we do get by A&M, they changed the site of the Miami Ohio State possible quarterfinal because it would have been, I think they said here.
Yes,
but they didn't want to give Miami a quote unquote possible home game.
Let's see what's wrong.
You know what's funny about that quote though, Mando? How people around the country constantly say, "Oh, well, Miami's rented stadium and no fans and blah 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 this and that," but yet the committee goes and says, "Oh, well, we didn't want to give Miami an advantage, having a home game and everything." So what you're saying is it does matter.
Good point.
I'm just saying.
Peanut, if that happens, everybody mark this down. For Peanut, if we beat TAMU, then Ohio State, then Georgia, then Oregon, if we beat those teams in that order and win the championship, you will get a $1,000 CanesWear gift card.
Look at that. All right, Brett.
Those four. I offered $500 to CFB Canes today. If he said 8, I said if we're 8, I'll take it. Because we'd have a home game, so it was. But $1,000 gift card, Peanut. If we run the table with that exact, we have to beat those 4 teams. If we face, someone else in the finals, Texas Tech or someone, I'm sorry, but nice try. So if we beat all those teams exactly, $1,000 gift card for Peanut. Everybody got that?
Yep.
Mark that on the tape at 8:33 p.m. Brett, you know I like the business questions. Absolutely. Anytime, feel free. Holler at me for the base. I love the business questions also. More than willing to work together on all that, like always. Aaron Fraser.
Can you imagine running that gauntlet? Can you imagine beating those 4 teams? That would be insane.
That would be insane. Insane. The SEC started the season with 10 ranked teams, which is completely BS.
Yeah.
Aaron, and hence their SOS are so high. Tennessee ranked all until the Vandy loss. Tennessee is 8-4, all 8 against teams below 500. That is so true, and we've been saying that Mizzou, all these teams. Why are they ranked so high? But SMU has an 8-4, Louisville has an 8-4. I mean,
as far as the ranking, did you guys see what I believe it leaked out that the AD of Notre Dame, Bavacqua, people said that something to the effect of next year, if Notre Dame is ranked in the top 12 to start the season, they're already in or something like that. I read or I saw. Like, what is that about?
Is it to start the season?
Something like that.
The start the season is just anybody's guess. I hate the ranking. They shouldn't come out with rankings. I understand. I think they come out too early or too late with the rankings that matter, the CFP. But the AP shouldn't come out for until 4 games.
Yeah.
It's stupid that I know it's all for show, but when they take these things into hand about who is rated, it's terrible. And which one are they doing? Are they doing rankings against the teams when you play them, or are they doing rankings at the end of the season? Everybody's got something different.
Yeah. At the end of the day, the AP and the coaches' polls, they mean nothing more than just putting a number right next to the team name on the broadcast you're watching, and that's it.
Well, you know what? They hit it on the head with Miami at 10. But they had Notre Dame at 9, correct? Or they had Alabama?
I saw something on. Yeah.
Okay, so Anthony Manzano, Gio, what are your thoughts on my last comment?
Let me see. I believe we already answered that. Yeah, we did.
All right, great. Peanut, preach the revenge tour. Absolutely, Mike Jeezy. It's in the house. HK and bowl games as a whole are dying out. It costs more to get to them than they bring in, especially in the sales of the allocated tickets that's unsold. That's actually a good point. I mean, what are they going to do with these bowl games?
I give it a few more years, and I think they'll be done with.
But they've got to do something. I mean, for the or is it just going to be no more games? I guess what's the purpose? It's like anything else. You don't use it, you lose it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, with the amount of teams that are dropping out and not wanting to play them, and
Unless you do something for money and you do, let's say, some way to figure it out, because it's stupid. Because when you have these super conferences, like Duke played Virginia, the only reason Duke got in over Miami was because Florida State and Virginia Tech sucked so bad. They were both 2-6. Well, Duke played Virginia, who they lost to, and Georgia Tech, who they lost to. So Duke got the advantage by losing to two teams, but we said our schedule was tougher. It was the dumbest tiebreaker I've ever seen.
Yeah, I think they'll change that with the ACC tiebreaker rules. I think they'll adopt what a few other conferences have, which they do this so they could send their best team through to have a better shot at getting in the playoff. Is your highest for the tiebreaker, your highest ranked, college football playoff committee ranked team gets that spot in the tiebreaker.
Yes, but like John Gruden said, did you see that thing about him in the commentary? Great video. It's like, can you imagine the NFL? You've got two teams. You've got Philadelphia and Seattle, the 1 and 2 teams. Instead of a bye, we're saying you two got to play each other, and everybody else gets to take the week off.
I agree with that. A play-in game for one of the last spots, I absolutely agree.
Because it's stupid that like, what if Ohio State lost their quarterback yesterday, or Indiana? I mean, then their season's over for playing a game that meant nothing. Nothing that game meant. Now, great, we won the. Now I understand teams want to win the conference, okay, but just have the best record in the conference, and that's it for the whole season. Because to play that game and penalize teams to play the championship game for not only, they're not rested, like you said all along, we didn't want to play in the ACC championship because we wanted to get better. Now it turned out we would have been much more comfortable playing in the ACC championship game against Virginia, because knowing if we won, we were in.
I'm looking at the comments, Brett, and I see that Proud Cat Dotto is saying what I've been saying for a few weeks: as give me the best 12 teams, period. Like Group of 5, be damned. And again, I'm all for the underdog and all that, but they don't have a shot, guys. They just don't. And it's taking away. Look, we could have been out.
Yeah, it doesn't make
today.
sense.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
I can see it in basketball. There's 64 teams, 68 teams actually, right? There's a playing game for 4 of them, and but they have conferences. You win to get in, but you have to do something to get in. I just don't understand how JMU can be in there, Tulane can be there, and Notre Dame, Texas, Vanderbilt are on the side. If this is supposed to be the best team in the country. There's no time for, in this particular case.
I mean, the only thing I would say is maybe because I guess maybe Gio can answer it. Is it because it's, this is not the pros. This is college. There's classes. There's school. Are they just afraid of too many games? Is that what it could be? I don't know what it could be. It's just.
But I still think, regardless, like with where things are headed, how they're trying to push the Power 2. I mentioned this on one of our previous shows here some weeks back, but. Again, this goes hand in hand about the Power 2 thing. Before this season, people on an administration level with the Big Ten and the SEC, they were lobbying to get 4 automatic bids for the SEC and Big Ten individually, and everyone else to be screwed to either get 2 or 1 for their conference. So I think naturally, like, the Power 2 is going to happen whether people are like it. It's coming at some point. ACC is going to disband within the next few years. I'd be surprised if it's still a conference standing around with just everything you've seen transpire over the last 2 years. However, I think naturally with that Power 2 concept, there will be more games because just the sheer amount of teams in those conferences that there will be at that point, I think they'll have no other choice but to do that.
But that being said, though, like this, my bad, Brett. I'm sorry, but this year,
you go.
Look, in the ACC, we saw that Virginia didn't play XXX. Miami didn't. Like, if you do that, like, when are you gonna, like, say Miami, for example? I'm just throwing a random name out there. Miami, LSU. You're telling me they're gonna play LSU this year and not for the 10 years? Like, what? How many teams are gonna be in every conference? Like,
I agree with you. It's it's a bunch of cobwebs that get opened up from that spider, but Here's the thing with that. So I think along with that, if a power two happens, I think having a committee may not even be a thing anymore at that point.
Well,
It'll just be determined by your
yeah.
wins and losses that year. These teams get in, these teams get in, and that's it.
Then I think you'd have to do, let's just say you had two conferences, okay? There'd be an AFC and an NFC like, okay? I doubt they'll be called the SEC and the Big Ten. Because how can you call the Southeastern Conference when you have a bunch of teams in California and the Big Ten as well? You got teams in Florida, and there's obviously more than 10 teams. So if you do that, I think you have to have divisions inside the conference, and the division winners have to go just like in the NFL. Whoever wins the divisions, they play the other division winners, and then they eliminate them down, and then they eliminate. It's whoever's leading and tiebreakers, and obviously head-to-head is the key tiebreaker and everything. That's the way they do it in the NFL. They don't have to have anybody vote on it. So if they do that in college eventually, and they go with two divisions, that's basically every single sport, professional sport, has two conferences. I mean, the NBA, the NHL, soccer. I mean, football, soccer. Everyone's got it. And obviously in baseball, the National League and the American League. So you have two conferences, and you go that way, and there's divisions. There can be in each conference, like in baseball or the NFL, 3 divisions. So everyone's not bulked together anymore. So let's say there is 64 teams, like you say. Sure, thank you. It's just say it's 64 teams, like you say. Okay, so 32 teams. So let's say they're doing, or maybe they want 6, whatever, and then you want 5 teams in each conference division. That's 15, and then you've got 15 in the other conference. That's 30, and then you've got 30 teams in the Big Ten, 30 teams in the SEC, and right there you got it. And then you've got your league. We've solved it. Get rid of the committee. The CanesWear podcast, Gio, Brett, and Mando. We'll take even all of our commenters. They can be part of the new hierarchy in the new College Football Association. We'll call it CanesWear Football League. FL, Mando.
There you go. All right.
Thank you, Mando. All right, 1 milligram. Let's see. H. Kane said they're buying out. They're dying out. Absolutely. 1 milligram. It was reported today that Notre Dame signed the deal. We talked about that. Is that if they're ranked 12th by the end of the season or 12th ranked by the beginning of the season?
I might have seen it wrong, but I think they said the AD said if they start the season ranked in the top 12, but I'm not 100% on that.
That's simple. So
that is wild.
The season top 12, and then that's
crazy.
From what I read, though, I believe it's that if they finish within the top 12,
I'm not sure.
They would have to automatically be punched in, which I think is a little crazy in itself. That's basically like special treatment.
They're getting and they can't get special treatment. And I think, like I was saying, Mando, some people like Danny Cannell and others said, the reason Alabama was ahead of them, not Miami per se, but that, what? They're getting special treatment and live by the sword, die by the sword. But can you imagine that? You're starting up in the top 12. You're automatically in a bowl game. You're automatically in the playoffs. They finished, 5-7.
Yeah.
I mean, there were a couple of teams this year that started off high and they finished terribly. So thank you, Bobo.
Penn State, perfect example.
Absolutely. Let's see. That would be the most epic playoff scenario ever. Peanut's the one that gave us that. He gets the $1,000, or Peanut gets the $1,000 gift card, right? If that happens, all 4 teams.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Robert, funny how much love. Peanut, big facts, literally on the site to order now. Thank you, H. Canes. We appreciate that. Remember, the show is sponsored by CanesWear, the Spot Miami Fan Shop, and we have CFP shirts. Now, just so you guys know, I showed Mando. I don't know if I showed Gio, but we did have another shirt planned if we lost today. So I had to load up all the CFP shirts before the game, before 12 o'clock, and I had the Smack Apparel shirts, and it was like these FSU shirt. It says, if you can't beat us, cheat us. And it had a slash across the CFP trophy. So those are ready to come out. I'm waiting to push a button and thinking, I don't want to have to sell these. I think we could have sold like 10,000 of them. So everybody would have been but I'm glad we got in the playoffs for sure. Thank you, H. Canes. Mike Jeezy, I said before the season started, see you all on 119-26.
That would be something.
That would be something, baby.
It would.
Put the TD rings on it. Okay. Let's see. ND claim they have gotten better. Newsflash: Miami has gotten better during the 4-game winning streak to end the regular season.
Yeah.
We agree on that, guys?
The other thing that gets lost amongst all that is after Notre Dame lost their first 2 games to Miami, Texas A&M, the rest of the competition they played wasn't nearly the same.
Exactly.
Let's see here. Peanut put, during the month of November, according to the metrics and stats, no one played better than Beck and the Canes. Yeah, Miami's arguably been one of the best teams over the course of the last 4.5 weeks now.
Yeah, and it's evidenced, Gio, by guys on like big national people that could care less about Miami, like Coward and Cannell, and they generally don't shower Miami with love. And I think the Pitt game really opened up eyes because I know a lot of people thought either we would win close or lose. That game really, really, and it ended up being pushing us to the playoff if you think about it.
Yeah. Charles Dawson said, I think Jeremiah Love may be hurt. That probably could have affected their decision to play in a bowl game. He's talking about Notre Dame with their running back. Yeah, possible. There were some questions about that, what his health was going forward. So, Robert.
Notre Dame fans were claiming. They were just claiming. It doesn't matter if Love is hurt. We have the first and second best running back in the country.
Somebody just posted a little while ago. There's a podcast or something about these 2 or 3 Notre Dame guys watching this morning when they flashed UM on the screen, and the guy just goes crazy. He's like, "No!"
I saw that.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
So Robert Haleb put, funny how fans are loving Mario these days compared to 2 years ago. In Mario we trust. Yes, in Mario we trust. Look, Miami got it right to end the season. They got past the November woes of the last few years. Things are trending up, and they got in the playoff. I don't think there's much more fans could ask for right now.
We could say that with 5 weeks ago, Gio.
Yeah. Ralph, 39.
I'm here, Ralph. I'm just chasing kids around. Don't worry.
But Gio, why do they have Miami playing at Kyle Field? Aren't they supposed to play at a neutral field? No, for that first round matchup, whoever the higher seed is of the 2 teams matched up gets a home game for that first round.
Yeah.
It'd be sad to lose that game. We need to win that game because we need to avenge the Final Four team that went there. Was it the Final Four team or the Elite 8 team the year before that lost to Texas A&M?
Well, not just that. How about when we played in football over there and we just vomited that game away? It was 17-9, I think it was.
Oh, yeah, the game with TV.
Oh, that's right, that game in football. When was that game? That's right, that was the opening game, correct?
2022, maybe?
2022, yeah.
I think.
That's right. I forgot about that.
It felt like
a magnificent place to watch a game, though. Everybody is so friendly.
It felt like Josh Gaddis couldn't figure out how to get past the 50-yard line.
Yeah.
Mike Jeezy, Hassan, no, home team gets home. Yes, correct. How about the Big 12 for Miami? No, Miami would absolutely not want to go to the Big 12, and I'll tell you why. Big 12 is also involved with private equity. And not saying necessarily that's a bad thing, but the other thing is in the discussion about moving forward, they would not get the amount of slots that the Big Ten or SEC would get in a hypothetical super conference situation down the line.
I think if you want to click on, I just saw in the comments, Phil, he said, Brett, Malik Zaire wants a Canes.
You know what's funny? Malik Zaire said to me, this was a few weeks ago, because he was so confident Notre Dame was going to get it. He said, Gio, we're the best team in the country. We're rolling on 10 wins in a row. He told me, when we make it, I'll send you tickets and you can come hang out with us.
I saw that.
I'm going to find his tweet to me, and I'm gonna really ring his ear a little more. I'm gonna light on him this afternoon.
Classic.
I asked him, "Where you at, clown?" and he still hasn't responded. Hassan put, "That's why those morons, FSU fans, talking smack, saying Manny won ACC championship before Mario. They are saying that because they can't get into the playoffs. Yeah, well, And just the whole tiebreaker scenario too is just weird with the ACC, honestly. King Kel, I'd love to see Miami in the SEC. I would absolutely love to see that too, but unfortunately the SEC has the Gators already. And from what I've heard through the grapevine is that the SEC is very content with what they have with Florida, and that, you know, that southeastern market between having teams like Georgia and Florida in their conference. So I don't think Miami would find their way into the SEC. Big Ten, very, very likely though. Miami aligns academically. There's quite a few teams that would want them and would accept them into the Big Ten, but we're still some years out from that.
How's anyone going to get out of the ACC if the ACC sues them?
Yeah, well, that's all coming up in the next few years. Anthony Monsanto put, I don't think the Michigan USC games are going to happen. They're looking to get out of the conference because of the equity firm wanting equal revenue share for the conference. Yeah, for Notre Dame, yeah. Mike Jeezy, the higher ranked seeds gets home. Yes, correct. You better love somebody. The critical factor in the game is whether can the Canes run the ball. Absolutely. Miami needs to be able to run the ball, especially in the postseason. I think they can do that. I think this team goes as far as Carson Beck can lead them at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? I'll say this. The amount of games he's won compared to losses in his career, Miami's got a very seasoned guy in that backfield, that quarterback, heading into the postseason.
He's 35-5, right? He was 25-3 starting the season. He's 35-5, which is quite amazing.
Yeah, that's a tremendous record. Proud Cat, Database. So why wouldn't they pick the 12 best teams and not the 12 most deserving? They are trying to appease too many people and conferences to make them feel included. That would solve all problems. I agree with you.
Mm-hmm.
I think they need to set a new rule amongst the committee, amongst themselves, that at least going forward when it comes to G5 teams, because now you have 2 G5s getting in this year, that the G5s need to be ranked beyond a certain threshold, basically. And I think a way to circumvent that situation is, all right, you need to be within, like, what would I say? Perfect example, like Boise State getting in last year. Boise State ran the table and everything. You know, they had a really good year with Ashton Genty and all that. Deservedly so, they got in.
Mm-hmm.
But they were high enough ranked where you didn't have to question it like, oh, you know, we're putting in a 2 or 3 loss G5 team. Like, yeah, that creates a lot of problems when that happens. So I think a team from the G5 at minimum, I think, hey, you got to be ranked within the top 16 to actually be qualified to get that bid if you're coming from the G5. I think that would make a lot of people happy. But again, this is the circumstances this year. George Blanco, the ACC needs to fire the commissioner, and they also need to fix their tiebreaker rules. Yeah, I agree on the tiebreaker rules. On the commissioner, look, I'm not going to call for people to lose their jobs or anything, but at the end of the day, I think there's some conflicts of interest there. You know, his kids went to Notre Dame for school. He also spent quite some time there. He's originally from that area, so hey.
I was shocked when he came out with that post, and he got behind the microphone and talked about that Miami should be in. I mean, I posted that, and it was like, you know, wow, this was a shock to me, because with the whole Notre Dame thing and everything, that his kids went to Notre Dame, and he came out, and I thought once he said something, I felt a lot better. Still didn't feel great, but felt a lot better that everybody is starting to come out of the woodworks now.
Yeah. Aaron Frazier put here a comment that I actually agree with. He put, you better love somebody you better love somebody. Texas was able to run on A&M. That's very true. Miami's passing game is better than Texas. Absolutely true as well. With better wide receiver targets. Absolutely true as well. Actually, DeAndre Moore was a bit of a disappointment this year for Texas. He was really good for them last year and just kind of went this year. So their receiver core hasn't been so great. Aside from the issues that Arch Manning had this year. Eduardo Sexton said, how soft is Notre Dame skipping the bowl game? We would have done the same. I don't think Miami would have skipped the bowl game.
No, I don't think so. Fans wanted them to do it, though.
I'll put it to you this way. They didn't do it last year. Why would they Why would they do it?
They would have wanted the 15 days of practice for sure. That would have been important.
Yeah, BYU's playing GT. BYU accepted quickly.
Yeah.
In the Pop-Tarts Bowl.
Mullet TV, Duck is here. The Duck is here.
When they just asked about the running game, I was sure that was a Duck incognito.
Ducky, a.k.a. Run the Football.
You Talk Podcast dropping in the show love. Go Canes and let's charge to number 6. Absolutely. Thank you for stopping by.
Thank you for stopping by, You Talk.
Thank you.
Mike Jeezy, man, let's ball. I want that rematch with Ohio State. FI's payback and Big D. H Canes. I said I was going to sleep and through it, but couldn't actually do it and watched it live. I don't think anyone could have slept with that situation going on today.
Exactly.
James Kane, feels so great not getting screwed out of our chances in the playoffs. Absolutely.
Feels like amazing.
Inspired Sense of Nonsense. I like that name. Inspired Sense of Nonsense. A&M fan stopping by. Glad they did the right thing. See you guys in a couple weeks.
All right.
Absolutely. Thank you for being honest and truthful. Yes, they did do the right thing.
Thank you, A&M fan. Inspired Sense of Nonsense. Okay, I can read that.
George Blunt.
So, Gio, what do you think about the matchup? What do you think about Marcel Reed, Concepcion? What do you think about the matchup over there?
Miami will definitely have their hands full with Concepcion and Mario Craver, especially Mario Craver is definitely going to challenge deep with Miami's defensive backs. I think Texas A&M has some decent running backs too, not specifically a star in the backfield, but they have some guys that can definitely play with guys like Ruben Owens and who's the other kid again? Moss, and even Amari Daniels is still playing there too, South Florida kid. The quarterback though, Marcel Reed, I've been very impressed with him actually. I know it was South Carolina, you know, that whole comeback game, but he's been pretty good, honestly. He's a very capable runner. I wouldn't say he's as dynamic as someone who Miami faced this year in Byron Brown in terms of like his legs, right. But still, he's definitely going to challenge Miami's defense horizontally, you know, just on the perimeter. So guys like Marquise Lightfoot, Ruben Bain, Mesidor, Blunt, you need them to be on their A game in this game. And I think Miami will be up for the task. Now, defensively, though, Texas A&M's got good linebackers. They absolutely do. Torian York has been a starter since he was a freshman. They have good defensive linemen as well. They recruit very well up front. Their secondary a little shaky, in my opinion, from what I've seen. So I think that's where Miami can attack them. And I think Miami can run the ball at least efficiently enough. I don't know if they're going to run all over A&M, but I do think they can get the job done. However, I don't think Miami blows them out, though. I think that game's going to be pretty close.
No, it seems like a spot where this is the perfect position for a veteran QB like Beck. You're going on the road, 90 to 100,000 people, everything on the line, win or lose. And I was watching today, they were talking about the game, the preview in the game, saying that when you saw the Texas game, and yes, granted, it was on the road, but if you make Marcel Reed just a drop back passer, they said he's definitely prone to mistakes in the passing game. So that's something to watch out for as well.
Yeah. Let's see. Canes Cats Heat. Being back is being in the mix. Yeah, I agree to some extent. I just think, look, maybe having to win a national title may be a little too harsh for about the stance of is Miami back or not. I just think Miami needs to show that they belong, and especially like if they could win even a game or two in the playoff, I think that establishes that, yes, you know, like Miami is back and here to stay long term.
Absolutely. Our last bowl win was 2017. Before that, it was 2006. So in the last 20 years, we've won 2 bowl games. So winning a playoff game, to me, is a bowl game on steroids.
Oh, absolutely.
As good as we are, winning a bowl game will be, that we think we are. Winning a game is taking it to the next level.
It's hard to believe, but it's our first playoff game.
It's our first
playoffs. It's our first college. It's our first college football playoff game.
Now, Mando, people are at least opposing fans and people that troll on social media are running out of material.
Exactly.
It used to be, oh, you've never made the playoffs. You never won the ACC. Well, they can still say the ACC, but can't say the playoffs anymore.
I think that would be the new shirt. I don't tell anybody. It's a secret between the 5,000 or 10,000 people watching the show. But, if we win the national championship, and we still haven't won an ACC, and we still have an ACC crown.
And I know it's tough because you look at Indiana, you see what Signetti's doing there, and in 2 years what he's done. And I remember if it was 21-22 sitting in the crowd at Hard Rock, and FSU literally killed us. And I was like, damn, we are a long way away. And he's really Mario and staff. They've had to build this thing from the ground up, and
I think
we're getting there.
I think the blueprint has shown itself because if you look at it, that 2022 season, Mario didn't have his first real class in. He had a makeshift transition class that he had to scrounge and get together at the last minute because he arrived. I think he only had like 8 or 9 days to wrap up that recruiting class, which Manny Diaz had up in the 80s, and then Mario got it within the top 15 within like a week's time, which is incredible work in itself. But still, transition class at the end of the day. So he didn't have the luxury of like, oh yeah, I evaluated every single guy throughout the whole process like they do now. Miami's super big on senior evaluations, and you see it with how the classes are improving. I mean, I go back to this again. Around this time last year, Miami fans were upset because Miami was not in the top 10 of the recruiting rankings. But I harped on this over and over. I said, it's not a class of quantity. It is a class of quality. And what I meant by that is even the average star rating of the previous class, the most recent one, which is Malachi and all these kids. Mind you, Hayden Lowe is not even playing right now. And he's a key guy to that class, which I think Cane fans should be excited for next year. However, it was the best average star rating class that Cristobal had ever signed since he arrived here. Yes, were the other ones ranked higher? Yes, but they had more filler in it. They had more guys in the class. So, so his first class that came in, 2023, you kind of see that blueprint taking form and shape over 3 years. All those guys are now upperclassmen. You point to guys like Mark Fletcher, Ruben Bain, Francis Mauanoa. They all came in with Mario's first class. Even Samson Okunlola now playing and having more of a significant role these days. I'm sure there's other names I'm not bringing up here, but point is he got his first full class in. They're all upperclassmen now. A bunch of those guys are very likely to move on after this year. It's still exciting to see that they have young guys that have really flashed this year. Malachi, Bryce Fitzgerald. Bryce Fitzgerald leads the country in interceptions for all true freshmen. And he didn't even start this year. Well, he started towards the end of the year when Keontae Scott got hurt, but a bulk of his interceptions was before he was actually starting. So point is, Mario got his first class in. The blueprint has been successful. Miami got into the postseason. All his guys that he initially recruited, that 2023 class, full cycle, they've got into the postseason with. It's been successful. He's done what he came here to do, to get Miami to be relevant again. Now, obviously, the next step is you got to win a championship and all that extra stuff. But the trajectory's up. It absolutely is. So
Absolutely.
I don't want to say all the way back, but they're definitely well on to that progress, maybe about 80% back.
And it's crazy how, to piggyback on that, how we talked right after the SMU game, guys, how low we were feeling, and like it is wild 4 or 5 weeks later to be sitting here talking about a first round playoff matchup. Unbelievable.
Amazing. You know, when you're saying I think the two guys that touched the ball most for us on offense in the last game were two freshmen, were Malachi and Pringle.
Pringle, yeah.
You know, and Pringle is, come on. That's why when Notre Dame says the fans, oh, we had a brand new quarterback. Well, we didn't even have Pringle playing. We had a 17-year-old wide receiver. We had a brand new secondary. We had a brand new defensive coordinator. We were still running the 1950s leather ball offense in that game.
I was waiting for the leather helmet reference.
There you go. Leather ball, leather helmet.
Leather helmet football.
Leather helmet. You better love somebody. Canes played in Texas A&M in 2023. We should be ready for the atmosphere. That's an excellent point. It's not going to be new to them. I mean, how many of those kids are still with the team?
Well, somebody mentioned today that it's also going to be a day game. It won't be a night game, so you won't have time to have them all liquored up. So that might also help us out also.
Is there liquor at a college campus?
Possibly.
Okay.
Redhead Kane. I heard that they didn't put us at number 9 because if we made it to the second round, we would have had a game at the Hard Rock. They didn't want us to have a game. Yes, very true. Tyrell James said playing in the championship at home. Yeah, if Miami makes it all the way to the end, it is a home game at Hard Rock.
Maybe that's why they contacted Mario to say, listen, you're not getting number 9. Somebody said, a couple of people said they contacted Mario last night. Maybe they said you're not getting number 9 because of where the game is. Maybe that's why.
Gio mentioned Scott. Is Keontae going to be available for Saturday? The 20th, sorry.
Yeah, it's still kind of up in the air. It's 50-50.
50-50, Mando.
Oh, okay. My bad. I missed it. Okay.
That's okay. You said it before you got on there.
He's attacked the rehab process aggressively, though. So he wants to get back on the field. Inspired sense of nonsense. We've been kind of fading, but we might get our starting running back, so that should be at least a little juice. So he's talking Texas A&M guy. Vance said, I think Ohio State got exposed. You can stretch the field on them.
I don't know about that. I watched the game, and again, they gave up 13 points. And Indiana, again, Ohio State was – I know the Ohio State – I'm not defending Ohio State by any means, trust me, but I saw the whole game. They were inside the 10 twice. They lost by 3. And again, Indiana scored 13. So I don't
exactly.
That expose is a little strong. Yeah, anybody can lose on any given day. Kudos to Indiana. They won. Their defense played really well, but it does show that Ohio State, it was the first time they had trailed all year in the second half. That's a pretty crazy stat.
It is.
Yeah.
We saw what happened when they lost to Michigan last year, what they did.
Yeah. So that
on the table.
It's the title's wide open right now. We'll see what happens, but I think exposed is a little strong. It was a 3-point loss. I mean, it was a tight game.
Hassan shared here. I'm already arguing with Texas A&M and also those loser FSP fans. I fight Hassan. I fought Notre Dame fans for about a month straight.
Yeah, I think that instead of Miami Notre Dame, I'll repeat it. Gio versus Notre Dame fans is the greatest rivalry the last month. Forget about Miami and Notre Dame.
Yeah, no, even their fans were specifically looking up my account.
That is funny.
Hurricane Sean, they almost lost into 2-4 Arkansas team without the head coach. Yeah, Notre Dame. Inspired sense of nonsense. He's talking about Texas A&M, almost lost to a crappy South Carolina team. Yeah, that's very true. You can lose to anyone in college football.
Yeah, one day they were down 30-3 at the half.
That is true. I forgot about that. And they didn't lose any points. I think they said it was a courageous effort. They came back.
How do I remember? Because I know Miami played that day, and I left my house at halftime of that game and I looked at my phone, and I don't know. I never ever. I know Brett does, but I never do this. Like when I see a big deficit like that, and A&M was plus 650 at the half, and I was like, you know what? Maybe I should put something on this. And I was like, no way, 27-point deficit. I get to the stadium. There's a guy about maybe 20 feet to the left of me in a suite. I'm like, hey, what's the score there? He's like, A&M just took the lead. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, they're up 31-30. I'm like, oh my God. Crazy, man.
Mando, I took Virginia 9-1 yesterday when Duke had the ball up by a touchdown late in the game in the late fourth quarter, and Virginia actually tied the game and held them on the thing, and they were 9-1. I had them, and which was crazy. And then,
that was a crazy finish, interception there at the end. There, Duke got it done.
I mean, that was a great fourth down on that goal line stance.
Do you guys think? I've been thinking about this the last couple hours. I think we would have got it regardless. Do you think Duke winning and having no ACC team in might have helped push us to the 10 spot and them keep Alabama at 9, or do you think it didn't matter either way?
I think it helped out a slight, but at the end of the day, I don't think it would have mattered. I think the committee realized, hey, you know what? Miami and Notre Dame, they're right next to each other now. We got to do the right thing, or we're going to have people come down on us for months.
It's funny to hear the main guy, Hunter. They asked, like Reese Davis asked him from ESPN. He's like, well, yeah, yesterday in the hotel, we sat down and we watched the entire Miami Notre Dame game. I'm like, you're watching it now, 5 weeks later? Like, what the fuck? It's so stupid. It's crazy.
But no, I agree. Watch it again. That's what all the announcers were saying. I just watched it again. It wasn't a 3-point game. Miami manhandled them. That's what they all saw. They saw Miami manhandle Notre Dame. It wasn't like what we just won. It was only because of the Mario's, take the pedal off the metal, and we're going to go ahead and we all.
And you got to give credit to obviously all the tweets and the social media age, all the tweets. But Mario was on countless TV and radio shows.
He did a great job. I was very proud.
Nick Saban was one of bat for Miami.
Yes.
Herb Street, even Kyle Hurd, Danny. A lot of people you wouldn't expect. Like everybody was on Miami. That had to help out.
SVP was all even on his podcast.
Scott Van Pelt,
yeah. So,
Alvin Henley, when are the Malachi Tony jerseys and shirts coming in?
Malachi's mom came in today, and I wasn't there, and said, "Ken, business associates called me and said, Brett, Malachi's mom here, Mrs. Tony's here, and she wants to know where are the jerseys." I said, we had an issue. We did have an issue. We did have an issue with getting produced. And then when we lost, and I said, if we don't get in the playoffs, I'm not making anything, is what I said. After that whole playoff run, I said, I'm done. So now I promised her today, we're in the playoffs. I said, I will have them there was an issue, but now we've got it under control. That we'll have them by next weekend. We are going to, I'm tomorrow making the call saying yes. Because I told them once they said we can do it, and I said, we're not going to get the playoffs. Every Canes fan is going to be so pissed. They're going to go on strike from buying anything. They said, you don't want us to make them now after all that? And I said, now I don't even know. So now I'm going to call them tomorrow and say, we made it. Let's get those printing presses going.
Just real quick to switch it up. And I got to say, I know Gio's talked about them in the past. And I know the team and the coach are good. But if you would have told me, hindsight, 2020, like 8, 10, 12 months ago that, I know they're probably talking about Pavia winning the Heisman, but we played Cal last year, okay? I didn't see much in Mendoza. I really – I'll admit it if I was dead wrong, but I think he's more a product of the team and what's around them, but I don't know. He made a few plays yesterday. I think he's solid. But what do you think about him? I mean, I know he's a local kid, Miami, Columbus. I get it. Good story. I don't know. I mean – they have him as a top 5 pick in the pros. Am I missing something there? I don't know.
I'll be honest.
I know how you feel.
Yeah, like I've been saying since before, I think he's a pretty damn good quarterback. I just don't think exactly elite. I do think it's kind of a weak year for the Heisman if Mendoza's winning it. Like, this may get misconstrued because some people may take it as like, oh, Gio thinks he sucks. No, I don't think Mendoza sucks at all. It's just been a very strange year for the Heisman voting and everything, and just the candidates as well. Is he deserving of it this year? Yeah, he should definitely win it. Just very lackluster for just what that award signifies and everything or whatever. I think if Miami didn't lose a game or two, maybe Malachi Tony's a little more in that discussion with just, how he's ended the season, how he's throwing passes and he's running and catching and the returns and everything is dynamic. It's exciting football, what he's doing.
Very exciting.
I think he'll definitely be a Heisman contender next year.
Oh,
yeah.
Him and guys like Jeremiah Smith, Ahmad Hardy from Missouri. Because funny thing, Notre Dame always brings up like, oh, Jeremiah Love, best running back in the country. I think Ahmad Hardy's right there with him. Ahmad Hardy's really good. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, I think Mendoza's good. Just don't think elite. I'm not all the way bought in. Did he make some plays against Ohio State? Yes. I don't know. There's something missing. There's something missing that I just don't think he's an elite quarterback. And that's not necessarily a bad thing.
Did the championship games count?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah.
Because Gus Johnson on the Fox broadcast, he kept mentioning and hyping up the Heisman throughout the whole entire Ohio State Indiana game. Absolutely, yes.
But what about the kid Roberts from Texas Tech? I mean, he's a beast, and he's going to win. Is he the leading candidate for the Butkus Award as well?
He won the Butkus, I think they said.
He won it already?
I think so. They were saying it in the game. I think so.
I didn't think they had. I thought they said that too. I just didn't think they had the awards yet.
Yeah, no, the Heisman for sure because the play-by-play guy Gus Johnson.
I thought they all come out at the same time. Did he win it last year? Because I didn't think there were any awards this year yet.
Unless the odds changed overnight. I think they said that Diego Pavia was the leader right now to win the Heisman, but we'll see.
Wait, Pavia?
That's what they were saying late last night. I haven't looked at the odds today. I'm not gonna lie. Because remember, the game was, yes, Indiana won, but it wasn't like Mendoza threw for 20, for 30, for 240 and 4 scores. It was a 13-10 game. So we'll see. I haven't looked at the odds since last night, to be honest with you.
Absolutely.
All right, so Alvin, we're working on those. We are going full steam ahead again. Hopefully have them by Friday in a perfect world.
1 milligram, Danny Boy Kane, DBC. Glad you're healthy and still with us, DBC. Yes, the great Danny Boy Kane. Andrew Silverman said, I want 99%. A redhead. Tell Texas to give us a 30-point lead at the half and see if they will come back on us. George Blanco. Texas A&M had the weak schedule in SEC this year. Yeah, they didn't play a lot of.
In a very down SEC, there's not that many good teams in that SEC. Because recruiting, they're not going to dominate recruiting. They're not going to have the guy on their side to go ahead and look the other way while they can do whatever they want. Now everybody's got money.
Texas A&M, 1 milligram put Texas A&M played Florida. Florida looked competent against them. Yes, I did watch that game before. James Kane, love the fact Miami got rewarded for actually playing a game on the field head-to-head Notre Dame. Even though he thought that Notre Dame belonged over Bama, who lost in embarrassing fashion. Absolutely agree, James. Hurricane Sean, we have the best defense in the playoffs. I think that's debatable between like Miami, not Notre Dame. Miami, Oklahoma, Ohio State, and Georgia and Indiana. I think you could debate between those teams on best defense.
We're in the top 12. We know that.
Yeah. Ultra Viking 76. Notre Dame really should be mad at Bama getting in. Yeah, they should.
They should. But like I said before, if Bama would have dropped out, why would anybody play a championship game again? Now you could say that. Listen, if they would have won it, they may have moved up to a bye. Well, probably not over those teams, but so you're winning it to get in. It's got to be there's reward, there's risk. So, but I could see that teams could say, "Hey, Alabama could have said, I'd rather not play in the game. It doesn't do anything for us." And then what are they going to do? Take the next available team?
Yeah. Andrew Silverman, I love this one. He said, Jeremiah Love, 33 yards against Miami. Absolutely correct. And you know
see all the Notre Dame people say, that's because he didn't play a lot that game. Yeah, because he couldn't run anywhere. He had 25% of the offense with catches and runs.
Yeah, well, and here's the funny thing about that statistic. I brought that up a few times about the stuff of Notre Dame, the debate back and forth between Miami and Notre Dame. Notre Dame fans would continuously try to excuse it or dismiss it. Funny enough, Hunter Yurachek mentioned today in their decision to put Miami over Notre Dame, aside from looking at the score and rewatching the game, they mentioned how Miami's receivers just looked much more athletically dominant compared to Notre Dame's defense, how Miami was just able to run the ball. And then they brought up the big point that Jeremiah Love played tremendously well against everyone else except Miami, and that he only had 33 yards. That data point was brought up this afternoon when Hunter Yurachek was asked why Miami. So I'm just saying it was definitely brought up. I wasn't bringing it up for nothing. It should account for something. Love is a Heisman finalist. He absolutely should be accounted for how well Miami played against it.
Correct.
Juan Manuel, Gio, how are we looking at the transfer portal? Is Miami going to be aggressive at QB, wide receiver, center, linebacker, and edge? Linebacker, absolutely. They're going to be aggressive with quarterback. You could definitely expect another. I do think they might be in the market for a running back. They'll look at receivers too, like veteran guys, like one or two guys potentially. I know they have interest for tight end in the transfer portal, potentially an upperclassman guy. They've been looking at the JUCO market as well, even before signing day. So there's some interest there. I really expect them to do anything at DB. I know there's been some discussion about potentially a safety. There's this one in the ACC that has had some interest. He's put some feelers out through his agents that I'll talk about at a later date. Pretty much that. And they'll scour around and look at offensive line options as well. I think an intriguing one could be, I'm not saying for sure he enters, but there's been some discussion if the offensive tackle with Jordan Seaton at Colorado, who's a tremendous player, if he may enter. I think Miami would be a big player in that transfer recruitment if he were to enter. Hassan put down here, I know we are already doing well in recruiting, but I believe Miami being in the playoffs is going to help more with recruiting and in the transfer portal. Don't you agree? Absolutely agree. You know why? Teams can't use that as a selling point against Miami or negative recruiting wise, saying, oh, well, they've never made the playoffs. They don't win anything significant. Can't say that anymore now.
Exactly. Well, that's how we get. We spoke about it from the first show on that we're not number one, top tier. We're not first tier. We're more like second tier. We said a great season can get us to top tier. And we saw how Mario won the state in recruiting again. We won on the field and we won in recruiting as the number one in the state. And you know what? Hopefully soon we can get close to number one in the country. Look, USC got the number one class in the country. How did that happen?
Oh, well, that's a lot of front-loaded contracts, and they're putting down a lot of money.
Okay, there you go.
Jake Jacobs put here, you can't keep us down. We're going after the crown. And Brett, you're getting a lot of slogans here.
I like that. You can't keep us down. We're going into the crown. I was like, there's a Seinfeld episode. I don't know if anyone watched Seinfeld. I mentioned Zidano. I know he's where George's dad is saying, you can't keep us out of Del Boca Vista. We're going to be on the shuffleboard court. We're going to be here. We're going to be on the tennis court. You can't get us out. Anyway, carry on.
Let's see. Hurricane Sean. I don't think this year's Ohio State offense can compete with our defense. I don't want to jump to say that just off of that game with Ohio State, Indiana. And reason why I say this, Ohio State, again, I mean, Indiana's a much better team than that Michigan team that Ohio State lost to last year. Mm-hmm. Ohio State came into that playoff pissed off, and they won the whole damn thing. So I'm not going to discredit Ohio State. I still think they're a very good team. I think their offense this year is better than the offense they had last year. It's just my opinion. Yeah, their passing game is much more, how would I say it, much more efficient this year, honestly. I think Julian Saint's a pretty good quarterback. Let's see here. Juan Manuel put, Nick Saban did our best marketing / Miami kicked Notre Dame's ass. Absolutely.
I agree.
Nick Saban was definitely pioneering for the Canes.
No, and I agree with that. And I think I made a post about, I really am starting to enjoy it, not just because he sided with us, but that's one of the reasons, but just him on the show. It makes that show special. Him and McAfee on that show that Mr. I'm not going to be that Alabama coach is really picked up his game. I think he does very well on TV.
Hurricane Sean put, seeing Galloway's face expression was priceless. Absolutely was. Wayne Weinstein, Big Brett.
All right, Big Wayne. How we doing, buddy?
Then Wayne also shared here, Heather Dinich stands up to Fee. Robert,
obviously she misses too, but she missed on this one. Alabama over Miami.
Robert
They are, but in between Notre Dame.
Robert Hilleb shares here, Mando brings the beer for being late.
We still got Mando?
I believe so.
All right.
Sean 7024, Gio, how will this help recruiting? So I mentioned it earlier. Teams can't use it as a negative selling point against Miami anymore.
Exactly.
1 milligram of epinephrine. Remember the last month when I incessantly spammed that we need to take Notre Dame off the schedule? Yeah, never mind. Well, I don't mind not taking them off the schedule. My gripe is if you're going to play an early season game with Notre Dame, it should absolutely count. And it finally did at the end. But my question was posed as if the committee was going to use it as a net positive for Notre Dame, then Miami should just entirely cancel it.
Sure. But where do you think we're ranked, Gio? Which I know we go back and forth. Where are we ranked if we don't play Notre Dame? We play somebody else that wasn't that good this year. Do you think we're top 15?
No. I think Miami and Notre Dame both helped each other out this year.
Correct. Yeah. But in the end, now we know Miami was helped out more by Notre Dame than Notre Dame was helped out Miami. Since we're going playoff bowling, and they're not.
Yeah, definitely going to be interesting. And yes, I am here. Definitely going to be interesting next year. They play November 7th, I think it is next year, up in South Bend. So that's kind of a late season matchup.
It is. Could be cold there.
Yeah.
Getting ready for that. I'm loading up on the hoodies just in case.
Yeah, Miami's not worried about them problems. We can win in the cold now, Brett. We don't care.
Yes,
anymore.
it's true. We are a cold weather team now.
Like Mario said, the worries about cold weather is for soft people.
Exactly.
Yeah. Until you get it done, that's it. It is what it is.
Giovanni Foster brings up a great question here. This one point I forgot to bring up about that Miami Texas A&M matchup. He said, "Can Texas A&M offensive line hold our D line?" Texas A&M is going to have problems up front. They've had some issues against teams with legitimate pass rushes this year, especially. I know South Carolina hasn't been great, but they have a really good pass rush themselves, and Texas A&M had a lot of trouble in that game with that. So it could be a game where Ruben Bain and Akeem Mesidor could put their stamp on again.
Does Mesidor have a chance of being in the first round as well?
There's been some discussion about that, but I think it's more likely second or third.
Because I've heard some people saying he's going to be a high pick.
I saw that Mel Kiper has him like the number 3 or number 4 end or something like that. I saw.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Let's see. 1 milligram of epinephrine. Now she's Heather Ditch, but her maiden name was Heather Fivehead.
Sheesh.
Son, hey fellas, if those two haters, Heather Dinich and Joey Galloway, have a baby, he would look like AM 850 college game day at College Station for the game. Wait, is that true?
I have not heard that, but speaking of Galloway, like I know at the beginning of the broadcast today, like they were, Booger McFarland was talking about teams, and Joey Galloway, of course, has to chime in. Well, some teams' resumes were already done before this weekend's games anyway. Like, shut the fuck up. He's such an absolute idiot. Like, seriously, demeaning the whole process. It's like crazy.
Well, there's only gonna be what, 2 or 3 games that day? There's 2 on Friday, right? There's
one on Friday.
No, I'm talking about
1 on Friday, 3 on.
Though.
So why not? They College Station would be a great place, and they were all pushing so hard for Miami. They should go.
I agree.
Well, obviously they're not going to go to Alabama, Oklahoma because it's the Friday game, so that wouldn't make sense.
Correct.
So yeah,
who are the other games?
Alabama plays Oklahoma Friday night, so game day is not going to go there. I wouldn't think. It's a
No,
Friday.
that'd be a snore fest.
No, but it's a Friday though. It's a Friday game. Why would they go there? Game day's on a Saturday.
And the other 2 games have Jay Madison and then Tulane, so they're not going to go to those games.
No, I can see them going to
college game day having a Miami game twice in one season.
There you go.
Pretty nice.
Yeah. Maybe 3 played Ohio State in the Cotton Bowl the following week.
Should have been 3 times this year, but Florida State blew that ticket when they lost.
Fucked us up.
Let's see here. Canadian Cane. Brett, we made it, baby. Love from Montreal.
Love from Montreal, Canadian Cane. Is that Canadian Cane, Steve? But we made it, baby. We are playoff bound.
Hassan brings up a great point here. It's weird how former Alabama players said Alabama shouldn't be in the playoffs, and they still put them in. Yeah, Greg McElroy.
That was funny. You're right. Ingram and everyone else. We should not be in the playoffs. We should not. The best.
Yeah, I saw it from
Nick Saban didn't think they should be in the playoffs.
Yeah, they're technically 4 since Saban. Yeah, so you have Nick Saban, Greg McElroy, Damian Harris, and Mark Ingram.
They definitely shouldn't have been. That was, that was ridiculous. If Alabama wasn't in there, would they have been 9 and us 10? I don't know.
Yeah.
Notre Dame 9 or Notre Dame would have been 10 because they would have had to be behind us, but they weren't going to let us play in our own bowl game.
Pac Jam 2 is a trash talker. Miami out in the first round.
All right.
10 Ole Miss. We shall see, Pac Jam. Canes Jones, the best thing that could happen to Mando was not having the light switch going off doing the live. The worst thing was to leave the kids home. 1 out of 2 can't be bad.
Mando home alone with the kids.
Let's see. One Manuel Mando, Miss Hudson and Big Bill up here in Chapel Hill. ask about you. What did you think? And where were you when you heard Miss Hudson is complaining we could see your power guns on screen?
Does Pac Jam think we're playing Ole Miss? Because he's got 45-10 Ole Miss.
I'm not sure. Yeah.
There you go. Thank you, Pac-Man.
Juan Manuel Gio, will Miami use anyone that hasn't played for whatever reason for the playoffs that can help? Like Malik Bryant, maybe a Hayden Lowe if we go deep in January. Hayden Lowe's tricky because he is expected back for spring, but I haven't got like an update on that if he would be good to go for the playoff. Anyone else in particular? Tony Johnson, potentially, if they could get him back in time, could definitely help. Can't think of any other guys, honestly. Their defensive end rotation is pretty set right now, though. Hassan put, did Mando wife turn off the light on him? Vegas.
When I get all to play with that one.
Vegas Kane said, when I saw Alabama pick the 9, I was crushed thinking Miami was definitely out. And I was swearing at the TV. Then I saw the U logo flash against the screen. Then I instantly started tears of joy.
That was one of the greatest time of being flashed. When you saw the orange or green peek out, it's like, it wasn't blue. It's like, you're right, just the emotion. You're right, tears of joy was definitely what people had.
Vegas Kane also shared, my girlfriend was laughing at me saying she never saw someone at opposite ends.
That is funny. True.
They say women are bad. Men could be worse.
Exactly, we can be.
Battle-tested Kane. FSU turned down a bowl game too. Yes, they did.
They made one?
They've been considered for it, even though they have a losing record because of the amount of teams that opt out of bowl games now.
Okay.
This is being considered, but they're turning down playing in a bowl game. I think
the sponsors are out there for bowl games. We'll take the next 3-9 team, please.
Yeah. Lorraine put here.
Joins the show.
Lorraine, thank you for stopping by. She put, we need to turn on the heat at College Station. Absolutely. As many Miami fans.
What kind of crowd do you think? Well, we had a nice crowd. Cane fans travel for regular games, and I wonder how good we'll have for this game. I mean, we'll have to have at least 20,000, I think.
I definitely think Cane fans will travel for a playoff game.
The question is, how many?
I'll put it to you this way, bro. I'm in a few group chats, and quite a few people were telling me they're like, because they were looking at like the projections and everything. They're like, oh, we could play Texas A&M or this team, or maybe it's Oklahoma if they move us up or a little further or whatever. I've had some feedback on that from quite a few people. They're really excited about it being at College Station.
That's awesome. I'm sure it's going to be a great turnout. So it's going to be exciting.
I'll put it to you this way. Some people have even joked about it that, hey, if Miami wins that first round game,
staying over,
make it stay for a week in Texas because they'll be back again the following week.
Is it a week later? Is it the 27th?
No, it's actually
a little further.
New Year's Eve. It's New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
Oh, it's New Year's Eve, so they'd have to go. So we're playing New Year's Eve, but the Orange Bowl is January 1st, but we're playing New Year's Eve. Is that the way it goes?
I was actually texting with a buddy of mine a little while ago, but he goes to all the games, and he says, yeah, it's when you go to Texas, it's not easy because you got to fly into Houston, and Houston is not that close to College Station, so you got to fly to Houston, then drive another 2-3. Yeah, it's an ordeal. It's not easy to get out there.
I wonder if they're just going to have this team stay out in that general area. I know a lot of teams do this. For example, I mean, this is a high school team, but there's a team from California that used UM's facility for about well over a week before they had a game down here in South Florida this year. So maybe it's on the table for Miami potentially using a facility out there in Texas and just spending the time out there if they do advance.
It's 10 days. Is that?
Well, yeah, I'd be shocked, especially with Christmas. Would they stay out there for 11 days? I mean, that would be kind of wild. I mean,
that'd be a long way.
It just feels like a lot of traveling in a short amount of time.
True.
Oh, yeah.
Plus the plane. Well, yeah. So
Juan Manuel put, Gio, would you agree with me that the rest of the teams going in will be key? Some of these teams are walk-in cash units like Alabama. Alabama may not be fully physically ready from Auburn and Georgia beating. Yeah.
Well,
go ahead.
No, go ahead, Gio.
No, and I just my thing about that, about teams being beat up and whatnot. Those couple of weeks off will definitely help teams. It'll help Miami too. They'll get some guys back. But
I mean, they lost 2 games. Obviously, they lost to Oklahoma. They didn't look good. They lost to Georgia. Auburn, they should have lost to, but if not for the courageous effort of winning that game and going for the, not taking the field goal, according to Yernachek, it's the only team they really beat was the 56-0 thrashing of that Division II school.
Yeah, well, on that previous show to the question of Juan Manuel, they were talking about that this is going to help Alabama because yesterday, as you know, they were without their starting running back. I think they also tight ends as well. So the time off may help them as far as the injuries.
Yeah, you're right. They are injured. I heard. I think one of their starting tackles has gone too. So you're right. Good point, Mando.
let's see. Redhead Canes 7177. Hey, get some number 10 jerseys. They will sell more than number 1.
Yes, we definitely are getting number 10. I just placed an order for so many of this new jersey we have coming next year. I'm not going to say, but it was a lot of jerseys. It's going to be crazy. But yeah, I have to get the number 10 jersey. And now that we're in the playoffs, there's no doubt about it.
1 milligram of epinephrine. Sometimes too much rest is a problem. Very true. I point back to the double bye weeks Miami had sandwiched in from the ACC scheduling between that FSU game on the road and then coming back and then a Friday night game. Look, that's a whole other problem in itself what they did with Miami's schedule.
How did the double bye teams do last year that had the bye? And then like Ohio State is not going to, all the top 4 are not going to play until the 31st of the 1st, 10 days later. How did it affect those teams? I wonder how those 4 teams did. Was Ohio State one of the bye teams or no? They weren't a bye team, right? Because they didn't even play they had lost 2 games. They just got in. They had lost to Oregon and Michigan. So they weren't a bye team and they won it all. I wonder who they beat Notre Dame. Notre Dame wasn't a bye team, right?
Yeah, so your bye teams were, you had Oregon, Georgia, Boise State, and Arizona State. And Ohio State came in at the 8th seed. Yeah, no, Ohio State fared pretty well. Just even their path. Tennessee, Oregon, Texas. Then they had Notre Dame right at the end. But the teams with the byes, Oregon lost, even though they had the bye.
Mm-hmm.
Arizona State lost, even though they had a bye. Boise State lost, even though they had a bye. And Georgia lost, even though that they had a bye.
They lost the first game?
So all the teams that had that, all the teams that had the bye, they lost last year.
That's amazing.
There's
Okay.
no guarantee. No guarantee.
It's an extra 10 days off. That's a long time. The other team, and having it 10 days between games is perfect. You get to get back out there again, and then you got a 10-day rest instead of a 7-day. That's actually perfect. So the teams, so right now we should know, if we're going to bet it all, Mando, the teams that are playing the first week have an advantage over the teams the bye weeks. Whoever wins, that means you go the 14 parlay based on last year's results.
Yeah, I mean, last year, as we know, Ohio State lost to Michigan in the regular season finale. Didn't make their conference championship, but they rattled off 4 wins in a row. Yeah, it's tough. Like 4 in a row is it's a tall task, but we will see.
I just saw Texans are beating Kansas City 10-0.
Houston. I just turned it on right. I turned it on right now.
The Dolphins will be 1 game back at Kansas City, I think, if Kansas City loses.
Actually, they'd be tied because.
Oh, would they be tied?
Yeah, I'm watching.
Wow.
I turned it on right now for the first literally.
All right, that's spectacular.
Houston's got a Houston defense.
Miami Dolphins. Miami
Dolphins. Miami Dolphins #1. McDaniel 5 out of 6 games. Just obviously I'm a homer at South Florida Homes. But right now we got the Panthers, who are back-to-back champs. Inter Miami, who won the MLS championship. So that's a championship for the local professional. You got, it's can the Canes be can this be Championship City? What they used to call it, Champa Bay?
Tampa Bay.
What would we call it? Champiami? I mean, some kind of great term for champion South Florida.
So Inter Miami wins it all. Panthers coming off back-to-back. Canes in the playoff. Is Brett strutting into the store tomorrow like Ric Flair, like making it rain or something, or what?
I wish.
Jeez.
I really do wish.
It's a great time.
I don't even think in Miami is definitely not a good thing for us. And they finally win. It's like if I tell you like 7, we have loads in Miami. Like 7 people came in to buy stuff. It's like
I think that
championship.
Like tomorrow morning, you're gonna have like door installers at CanesWear, like gold-plated doors.
No, but in regards to Cane Cats, I see that those playoff shirts are doing pretty well right now. You know, I don't like that playoff shirt. I like that playoff shirt actually. So we're in, baby.
This is a good
I was
question.
going to make a Eurocheck shirt with his picture plastered on it with the old Ghostbusters slashed across it if we lost.
Like last night after all the games, like percentage-wise, where were you guys at mentally as far as us getting in?
I felt pretty optimistic that Miami would get in and that they would do the right thing. Just there's that small little PTSD of what if they decide they want to screw Miami?
Yeah.
I thought the Duke winning helped us a lot. I thought the Alabama.
Yes.
I thought it, but I still thought that I didn't understand. I still was scared the hell out of me that I thought Alabama is going to be dropped into the wedge gap. And I didn't like the fact that Vegas had us. So they had Notre Dame as such a favorite, us so far behind. So I thought we should be 80-20. We should be. If the right thing was done, if the right thing had done, I thought it was 95-5. But I still thought 50-50 at best because I just thought they were going to screw us.
Yeah.
And you know what? It came right down to it. I mean, let's just say that we were all holding on to our prized possessions.
I like this question from Sean because I got a great answer for this. He put here, wonder if Malachi Tony will change his number to number 1 next year. I'm going to be honest. He should not.
He definitely should not.
Just stick with number 10. It's become so iconic for him. That number hasn't had much fame in Miami history in a long time. You're talking about George Myra Sr., who was quite the talent himself way back in the day. Stick with the number.
I've heard rumors sticking with it, but all these kids from James Williams to Fletcher to Bain, they all want to switch their numbers. I know they want to be certain numbers in high school. You don't have to be the number you've been your whole career.
The player makes the number. The number doesn't make
exactly. The old Michael Irvin story when Jimmy Johnson told him, no, you want to be like a 747.
I can't lie. Michael Irvin definitely made 47 look pretty cool in a Cane jersey. Even Eddie Brown wore number 40. He looked great wearing number 40.
O.J. Anderson wore number 47, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Well, who was the cornerback? Oh my God, he was late 80s, early 90s, All-American. Ryan McNeil. Didn't he wear 47 as well?
Yeah, I think he was a high
47.
Number. So they've had 47. Some of these great numbers that, they're not, you look at them and you say, what? I mean,
Lamar Thomas, 36.
36, yeah.
Exactly. Like, why is 36 a great number? 52 is a great number because great players have worn it.
Yeah.
Why is 12 a great number? Because great quarterbacks have worn 12. If not, you look at 12.
Yeah, I couldn't get used to seeing that BYU quarterback with 47 yesterday.
That was kind of weird, yeah. Seeing a quarterback there was weird.
You talking about Bear?
Brockmeyer, yeah.
That was kind of weird seeing that.
Hey, at least it's not like the Michigan had a quarterback some years ago that used to wear 99. That was
99, yes.
Oh my goodness.
That's terrible. Lorraine put, Notre Dame has gone quiet. Seniors losing their last game with the team is so selfish. Absolutely. Notre Dame should not be canceling their bowl game.
But they said they voted it. I wonder if the vote had to be unanimous or what. But I'm sure people are like, I'll do it too. I mean, how did they do it? Did they do it in writing? Or that's what they should have done. A private vote in writing. Everybody submits. Because if you're doing it in front of people, it's peer pressure.
Yeah. Great question from Juan Manuel going into the playoff, because I harped on this early season that Miami needed a third receiver. Keelan Marion stepped up. But he put here, do you think any of the other receivers emerged like Pringle did? Upshaw is explosive. So is JoJo Trader. Why haven't we used Joshua more in the red zone? Can we maybe see a surprise at tight end? I'm going to go out on a limb, and I think Elijah Lofton's going to play his best ball in the playoffs. I think he's going to get it all, put it all together. I think you kind of saw near the end of the season they started getting him a little more involved, looked a little better. I think he could be the postseason surprise for Miami.
No, I agree. I think he had that game. He didn't do so well. Even the other guys, the other tight end is had a couple of big plays. The tight ends are getting more into it, and the receivers. I think there's a lot of good things right now. Upshaw's look good. Moore has looked good when he's had the opportunity, but JoJo as well. So I think we're going to be the healthiest we've been all year. Right before that game.
Yeah, no, you got CJ Daniels back now too. He missed quite a few.
I was so surprised when he made that spectacular catch. I didn't even think he was playing.
Yeah,
he only makes great catches.
Yeah, Canes Jones put here a little behind the scenes inside. Although Notre Dame isn't in a league in football, they still represent ACC, and to not accept the Pop-Tarts Bowl, they have to pay into the ACC for missing that game.
Do they really?
That's interesting. I got to look that up.
Well, I got so much money with the I just don't understand. The 15 days of practice is priceless because you've got guys going into next year. Now, maybe it's different now that the NIL is here and they're going to move guys in and out, but I understand they're disheartened. And I do understand what the AD said. Having the poll every week and seeing Notre Dame there, they got a sense of feeling they're going to do it. If they were going to put Miami ahead of them, why didn't they do it on Tuesday? Which is true. I blame that on the committee.
Absolutely, they were beating around the bush with it.
Were they wanting ratings? I don't know what the hell they wanted.
I think it had to do with ratings. Mm-hmm. That's my opinion. But Hassan shared, "Hey fellas, as Miami fans, we should give Mario credit. With all the Mario bashing, he deserves his flowers now that he got us into the playoffs. With him, we would be average. Like
no doubt about it. I mean, listen, but Mario turned around. I'm sorry. With him, he would be an average like Manning the Golden.
Yeah.
But let's say this: Mario has had he's had more money to spend than Mario, than Manny, than Golden, than the other guy we had, Shannon. Than all of them put together. He's had everything that these guys didn't have. Not to say they would have been able to do something with it, but yeah. So it's about Mario. The fact is, everybody was screaming for his job after the SMU loss, and to his credit, he has turned it around.
Yep, he has. Vegas Kane shared here, I like Mondo's playing game proposal. Throw in those group of 5 teams too, and make them win to get in.
I agree. If they're definitely going to do ACC, if they're going to do championship games, the other teams should play also that are on the, maybe not the top 4, or let everybody play.
Yep. Juan Manuel, I would love to see Miami unveil Luka Gilbert and Brock Schott that we haven't shown any film on. The Pitt game, you see how important and useful for Beck to have a semblance of a threat at tight end. I don't think it would come in the form of Brock Schott if there was any type of surprise. Schott's been dealing with an injury. Luka Gilbert, I'm surprised hasn't played more. That has kind of surprised me.
I don't think we're going to see that in the playoffs. But one thing I would say is the end of the half, for example, we're running out the clock, one play. Why not at that time do a flea flicker, hand off, flip back to the quarterback, and try something we want to play right before the half? That I never understand. Like, why just run it in? Or if you're going to have one play left, why don't you just go for it? With some kind of trickery.
Yeah. Lou from Dade, all about the U. Juan Manuel. Gio, Brett, and Mando, how many Notre Dame fans have checked themselves into the crisis clinic today? They take their football seriously. The shock that they are getting the FSU treatment.
I agree. I expect that to happen to schools like us, not schools like Notre Dame. Obviously they're no Bama. They're not in Bama. They think they're high and mighty with their independent. They said we can do it. Every team wishes they can do it. Well, they just proved that the SEC said, "Hey, you're our little brother."
Yep. Proud cat dad of 8. We need the 12 best teams. Group of 5 teams be damned. I agree.
100%.
Gilbert Reyes, I am going to need a GoFundMe if we make it to the national championship. Juan Manuel, Notre Dame fans and aficionados are still stunned and in shock. For them, the world has turned upside down. Their belief system that the college football world doesn't revolve around Notre Dame. Absolutely.
100%.
It's a monopoly. New King God. What? Oh, thank you for stopping by, New King God. What if they got rid of bowl games and did like NIT like basketball does? That's a good idea too.
That is the best idea I've heard. I didn't even think of that. Let's do a secondary championship. That is a great idea. New King God, you may have come on to something.
Let's see here. Canes Jones. I love this point he brings up. I think I could definitely see this path. He shared, I can see an adjustment next year, then go to 16 teams the year after. Then teams will still complain about the team sitting at home while others play conference games, then get rid of the conference games and use those weeks as play-in games. I love the idea of play-in.
Absolutely, 100% agree.
Make it mean more.
Is bowl game, you wanted something like that. Everybody should be playing for something. If you're out, you're out.
Oh, wait. I haven't seen this yet, but Juan Manuel sure said. Gio, what are you hearing on portal prospects, the receiver, linebacker, and edge? I mentioned that earlier. Did you see where Damon Wilson – oh, by the way, speaking about linebacker, Miami, I did hear that they have interest in the North Carolina linebacker that just entered the portal a couple of days back. There's some early interest there. But he put here, did you see where Damon Wilson is sued for $380,000 of NIL? Can you discuss how often we will hear this going forward? I got to look into that case. Wow. That's a really big.
By the people that gave him the money for not fulfilling his obligation?
I'm not sure. I haven't seen that yet. I mean, we've been on here, but I'll check it out after. Lorraine put, bowl games used to be about pride and family fun. Absolutely. Now players going to the NFL have too much to lose. Once the bowls became all corporate and unaffordable, no one cares. Yep.
That's true. They used to be, it'd be the Orange Bowl. Now they're corporate. There's a Snoop Dogg Bowl this year. There's a Snoop Dogg Bowl this year.
Wow.
I mean, yeah, there's some crazy names though, but you're right. But now with NIL, these quarterbacks could be playing for $1 million or $2 million also. So why is anyone going to play in a bowl game if it doesn't matter?
Absolutely. Robert Halub, Miami has never really cared about a conference championship. They were in the Big East, and as fans of the Canes, we called it the Big Least, all the while wanting a national title, not a conference title. Very true. Hassan shared, Gio, what do you think of GKS saying he's going to return to Cal? Damn it. Oh, you're talking about JK, yeah, Jaron Koo, Sagapale. I think it's good for him. Hey, be the big fish in a small pond. Very talented kid. Talking about the quarterback from Cal, Brett, the Samoan kid. I wouldn't be surprised if he spends another year there. Well, obviously, him saying he's committed for another year, and then potentially hits the portal for a big program in his money year, like his junior year. But we'll see. Phil shared here, Brett, Malik Zaire told me he wants a Canes shirt.
If he really wants one, get us his address. Where is he, local or where does he live?
I'm not sure where he lives, but yeah.
If he's local,
let's say he was going to get me a Notre Dame shirt if they made it in. All
right, let's see. We'll get him to wear one, put it on. You just got to say, hey, when I'm not rooting for my favorite teams, it's all about the U. CanesWear, baby. Get me his address.
Oh, you got a great comment here for you, Brett. Blue Green Street. Ordering college football playoff gear from CanesWear now. Side note, the baseball dugout jacket came in clutch for the pit game that I got from CanesWear. Kept me warm in 30-degree weather.
Awesome to hear, Blue Green. Appreciate that. It is one sharp jacket. You are correct. And thank you. We are definitely always appreciate all the support. I just got a note we're getting some flags and other things as well for the CFP as well. So if you're riding around with your windows down like the Mad Dog in Texas, you could be having some decorate your car as well up there. And down here, of course.
I think Cane fans should show up with some cowboy hats to the stadium.
I know you said that. We got to figure out how we can do that.
Absolutely. Hurricane Jimmy. Let's see. Tony Jones. We're spanking Texas A&M.
Yes, sir. 38-14.
Hurricane Jimmy said free hurricane jackets for everybody, right?
Woo! I can't wait to get mine, Gio.
Tony Jones, after we spank Texas, who is next? Well, if Miami takes down Texas A&M, they would face Ohio State the following week. That would be in the Cotton Bowl, which would be in Jerry World.
Yeah, so we're going to be in Texas.
Yeah, Texas for 2 straight games if Miami wins.
Who's next week? That's a good question. Could we be playing at Tech? Who then it goes to where?
After that, I mean, I would have to look at the bracket, but likelihood is it would probably be Georgia at that point, but unless they get upset.
Yeah, but what would that be? The Fiesta? Would that be because all the four original bowls of the quarters this year?
Yeah. They said the semifinals against, if it were to be Miami at Georgia, I think it's the Fiesta Bowl.
Okay.
Wow.
We don't do well there, do we? Did we beat Nebraska there? No, we beat Nebraska in the Rose Bowl.
Yeah.
Fiesta's never been our friend.
Bo Handsome shared, Big Ten is the most obvious conference for Miami. Absolutely agree. All of our rivals from the 80s, 90s, and 2000s are there. Absolutely agree. TV ratings would go through the roof. Yes. Could you imagine a matchup between Miami and Michigan in the middle of a season, or a Miami and Ohio State, Miami and Penn State, Miami, USC? Those would sell very well.
Columbia Records commercials. All your favorites from the 80s, the 90s, and the 2000s. This is Casey Kasem.
Yeah. Hey, even Miami, Oregon matchups too. That could happen being in the Big Ten.
Sure.
Tony Jones says, stay in the ACC, better looking females. Vegas Kane said here, Big Ten fits Miami's academic standard too. Yep. With the exception of Vanderbilt. The SEC is loaded with schools that aren't regarded as dumb schools, that are regarded as dumb schools. Hassan shared, Texas A&M are so corny with their all-man cheerleaders telling stories. So corny. What is that? The Aggie yell, they call it? I remember that.
Well, at least not those Minnesota Viking male cheerleaders.
Oh. Juan Manuel. Does Miami have backup plans?
There's anything wrong with it.
Juan Manuel, does Miami have backup plans for the center, number 52, being overpowered with nose tackle straight up on him? I'm surprised Mario didn't try Rodriguez in for Brockemeyer. Rodriguez is very physical. Brockemeyer has played better since those issues had came up. We'll see when Miami gets to the playoff and whatnot. Hasn't been as much of a concern later in the season, so we'll see. Juan Manuel, skipping a bowl game hurts the 26th season. It's valuable developmental time for the young players. Get head up for spring. Yep, absolutely agree. I don't understand why teams want to opt out. All those extra practices, they absolutely matter for the younger players. Juan Manuel. What happened, Brett?
They're priceless.
Yeah. Juan Manuel shared, this is an OJ Frederick type receivers. He does well instead of big physical receivers. Texas A&M linebackers don't cover well. York is undersized and short. Yes, Torian York is a smaller linebacker, but still very talented himself. So Miami's got to account for him. James Kane, 4001. Mario brought us back into relevance, win or lose in the playoffs. Yes, Miami has absolutely established relevance again. That is very true.
I really do think any team that makes the playoffs in any sport, it's always good to get there, but there is nothing like winning and being there and actually win. Because now, if not, the next year you come back and you've got to say, okay, this year we're going to try to win one. I do think it's great that we got there, but I think it'd be so much better, obviously so much better if we win. But the fact that we got into the playoffs before we, that's why I'd like to win a playoff game. Then we can say we won a playoff game before we won an ACC championship game.
Yeah. James Kane put making the ACC championship game next year. Book it. I think everyone would love that.
I think we're going to be better next year than we are this year.
James Kane, Mario can sell actual substance now instead of a pipe dream. Absolutely. Being in the playoffs, it changes the narrative a lot. George Blanco, Indiana's next recruiting class is not very good. That is very true. And they're losing a bunch of seniors. How will they fare? Well, they'll very likely lose Mendoza. He'll probably go to the NFL unless he wants to come back another year, which I'd be surprised because he's getting very high projections. Indiana gets a lot of the bulk of their better players through the portal. Some guys are homegrown. I don't think they would be as good next year, but we'll see.
First Big Ten championship since 1967, I think it was.
Yeah.
Which is quite amazing. What's that, almost 60 years?
Let's see. Raymond Rodriguez, since we're in the playoffs, any new fitted hats for the holiday/playoffs run?
Raymond, we're supposed to have a snapback, not a fitted from Adidas. I know we sold some today, but we're supposed to have the black one, but we could get the white one. I don't know if we're going to get any fitted. Who's making them for the playoffs right now? I know Adidas is making them, and I think that could be it. So I don't know about fitted. We'll see if we can get them.
Yeah. Name Ali 4155 says, so who is doing the watch party and where?
That's a great idea.
Very true.
That's the CanesWear podcast watch party, maybe.
Yeah.
CanesWear and CanesWear podcast. Let's see what we can do. Yeah, maybe we can do that. We did. We do something with Broward Canes and stuff like that. So maybe we can put something like that together.
Canes Jones shared Mando. That offense is trash. I believe he's talking about the Oklahoma team. Yeah. Blue Green Street. It's going to be a matchup nightmare for Texas A&M. Miami will have them in a blender.
Nice. I like it.
James Kane, Saban said Miami kicked Notre Dame's ass. Yes, he absolutely did. Carl MIA 305. Gio, can you tell us what Fran Brown was doing in the background before signing day? Yeah.
What was he doing, Gio?
No, just the whole Calvin Russell recruitment.
But he is. Did you see he's the only guy that came out and said Notre Dame he thought was better than Miami? He said,
yeah,
Notre
Dame,
he hates us. He's like, Notre Dame, we were out of the game right away. Miami, we were still with them in the first half. So it's like, okay. So Miami just beat us. They beat us worse. I wouldn't be surprised if that guy threw the game against Notre Dame because he wanted Miami to lose their opportunity.
Yeah. Canes Jones. Come on, Brett. Malachi Tony jerseys are like Sean Taylor jerseys, year-round money.
I know. I have totally. There was a making them error, and then it was me just putting them up because of the pissed off about the whole playoff situation.
H Canes 1005. So happy this team has given me the ability to back up shit talking again about Miami football. It's a great feeling for many Miami fans.
Oh, it's a great thing.
James Kane said, Mendoza is solid. Don't think he's a game breaker. I could agree with that.
Mendoza's going to go the first pick and Carson Beck not to the third round.
Yeah, well, we'll see. Playoffs could change many things. Quinn Ewers, his stock went plummeting with his performance in the playoffs year. So we'll see. James Kane, 4001. Malachi Tony should also be up for Heisman. I agree. I think it would have happened if Miami didn't lose a game or two. I think it would have been more realistic. I do think he'll be a heavy contender for it going into next season.
Especially can throw like 6 or 7 touchdowns during the playoffs.
Let's see. Robert Haleb going to leading to a protest to Aiden Malik. Texas Tech and Texas A&M defense pretty good also. Texas Tech defense, yes. Texas A&M, I've watched them. Good linebackers. They struggle a little bit with the pass, though. Good defensive line. I have questions about their secondary, though. I think that's where Miami can get them. Enough with the U reposted this stream. That was the theme this year for all the players in the locker room going into the season. You saw Akeem Mesidor wearing the Enough shirt, and they explained their reasoning why behind that slogan. And
oh, really?
Enough of that Miami can't do it, enough that Miami can't make it, enough that Miami is this and that. Hey, they got it done. They got into the postseason.
This is a good question. The 2025 CFP patch. I am going to check on that.
What about the 2025 CFP patch on the jerseys that the participating teams?
Yeah, I'm
wear?
going to check on that 2025.
Aiden Malik, Texas Tech defensive line is just like Miami's defensive line. I wouldn't say exact. I don't think Texas Tech is as good on the interior of their defensive line, but you could definitely make an argument that guys like Romello Height and Bailey, David Bailey, the other defensive end they have, very, very talented. They're a very good group. Randy Rose shares they will lose one and done. I think he's talking about Miami. We shall see. Robert Haleb also call out our Cubano military from the Everglades. Stand by, amigos. Miami Sports 72. I want Dylan Stewart. He's talking about the pass rusher from South Carolina. Miami actually came very close in that recruitment when he was coming out. They were kind of right there neck and neck as the second team with another program. I think Ohio State was also in the mix too. Let's see, Hassan. Gio, I know Miami wants linebackers in the transfer portal. Do you think they will go after the USC linebacker that hit the portal? He's the type that Heatherman likes. He definitely fits the bill in terms of like the body build and everything that they like. Not sure if they're going to go in that direction. I know they're interested in the Duke linebacker. I mean, no, not the Duke linebacker, North Carolina linebacker, who started his career at Washington, but that's about it for now for linebacker. There'll be more guys entering soon, though. Lorraine said, Brett, send Malik Zaire a playoff shirt. Request this time from Lorraine.
All right, I like it.
A lot of Miami fans do not like Malik Zaire. Canes Jones, we definitely have the Georgia Tech schedule until we play Notre Dame next season. That could be a good thing or bad thing, knowing how we used to play against weaker opponents. Maybe we learned from that this year. I agree. Juan Manuel, Kuiper has Mesidor number 2 edge rusher with a great game versus Texas A&M. If he hits 4.8 or better, it will offset him being 23 going on 24. Yeah, because that's the thing with Mesidor. He's an older prospect. Sometimes the NFL, they depending if a guy is much older, sometimes it may hurt the stock a bit.
Mm-hmm.
But again, it's kind of out of his control too because he had a couple of injuries along the way. Duval Kane. Gio told me last week we would be in. Y'all need to subscribe to the private Discord channel.
Ooh.
Yes. Subscribe to the Discord channel. I dropped plenty of nuggets in there. Dropped some couple little things on the transfer portal and whatnot. Got some more notes coming in terms of things I'm hearing for the transfer portal in the coming days. Juan Manuel put, when we saw the Canes logo on enemy territory, it showed our flag and our season was still here. Unlike Notre Dame that waved the white flag. Canes Jones, we showed up in the Texas snow and Shreveport sleet and rain. It was cold. We will be represented. We will be representing the brand well.
Absolutely.
Canes Jones again. They gave Corey 3 weeks to watch tape. Corey Heatherman 3 weeks to watch tape. Gave Shannon 3 weeks to dig deep in the playbook for plays that could trick and that could do the trick and treat. Yep. Mr. Jake, if I'm fearful of anything, it would be possible rust. Yeah, just with a little time off, but
they will have it too.
Yeah. Canes Jones, they all lost.
That's the 4 teams, yes.
James Kane said, "Go Lions." Dan Campbell,
baby. Kansas City about to score.
Juan Manuel. So McDaniel saves his job. What bruja did McDaniels get of Cayocha to do the brujeria? So Brett, so bruja in Spanish means like a witch, and brujeria means like witchery.
Okay, so something he did to turn it around. I think he just stopped being soft and he said, listen, they all said he started walking around a different person completely. And he realized that, hey, I got to be different, just like Mario. So you got to give these guys some credit when they adapt.
Let's see. Juan Manuel and Gio, can you keep an eye on Nick Lanier reclassifying? He has the ability to impact the 2026 season. So, yeah, I heard about that some time ago that he had began some paperwork of that and whatnot. It's still kind of up in the air with that. Last I actually heard is he may be more likely to stick in the 2026 class. So we'll see. No, not 2026 class, 2027 class. Robert Haleb, Mario decides who wears number 1. That's absolutely true.
Mm-hmm.
Mario decides who gets number 1 on offense and defense, but I think Mario would be okay with it. I think he means like if Tony wore one.
I think he'd be okay with that, Robert.
I don't think Tony should switch the number, though. Like I said
I don't
earlier.
think he's switched it either. He's got the 2 numbers that people want are 1 and 0. He's got them together.
Yep.
Why change yourself when you're having a stud year? Go with what you've got. This is the number that got him there. I totally agree.
Absolutely. And actually, funny enough, Brett, it was the number that put him on the map at American Heritage. That's what he wore. It was his breakout high school game. It was the very first game he played as a freshman. He was wearing number 10, playing a nationally ranked team, and he was wearing the number at that time. I think he should just stick with it. It's his thing.
I agree. I mean, champion, the newest champion in South Florida, Messi wears number 10.
Yep.
And if Malachi is pretty good, if he can have a career like Messi did, what has he got, like 48 trophies or something like that? He'd be doing pretty well. So I'd say stick with number 10.
Daniel Castillo, Gio, any intel on how the team is doing mentally right now and if they are locked in after today? Haven't really asked about that. I'll see within the next couple of days just kind of what the feel is about things, but I'm sure they're pumped up.
Mm-hmm.
Canes on top. What's up, Brett?
What's up, Canes on top? Good to see you.
Canes Jones, Brett, because if we just go for broke and fumble or get intercepted, they would be all over Mario's head like the knee down against Georgia Tech. Yeah.
I agree, but I'm talking about the end of a half when, you got a chance. We call timeouts to get the ball, if you remember. And we didn't get the best field position. We're at like the 28. So try the handoff, but I agree on that. I mean, sometimes trick plays go awry. Virginia had the trick play in overtime, and it was an interception. But I'm saying I agree. The question is, teams do take a shot. One shot, it's like the Dan Marino fake spike. You never know when somebody's sleeping.
Yep. Scott 711, CanesWear, are you going to get any new hats in?
We just got a ton of hats in, I'm pretty sure. From 47 brand and also Fanatics and all. We just got about 25 new hats in, I think, in the last 3 weeks. So if you haven't seen them recently, we got about 25 new hats in, and we will have we were working on getting more for the baseball season. We'll be getting not only baseball hats but other designs coming up in January as well. But we did just get a bunch of hats. We have the biggest hat collection anywhere for Canes hats. That I'm 50% confident in.
Name Ali 4155. They have a top 25 ranking, so why not have the top 24 teams play off something like college basketball? I get what you're saying, Nate. The problem with that is I think it would really dilute it. I think in college basketball, the talent is more spread around than it is college football. College football, those top 10 to 15 teams are really the ones that are like the competitive, and everything outside of that, it's kind of touch and go, to be honest.
This year was a little different because there are other teams, but you look at Vanderbilt lost 2 games. They could have got in. Notre Dame could have got in. Texas could have got in. Those are 3 teams right there. But how far can you go before you start getting to teams that aren't good enough to be in there? And Texas lost 3 games. I know one of those games was Ohio State, but they still lost 3 games.
Yeah.
USC lost 3 games, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, but these teams had opportunities, and so it's difficult. But this particular year, 12 was too little. But would 12 have been the right number if there was no JMU or Tulane? You got to figure it would have been Notre Dame and probably Texas or Vanderbilt. But Texas beat Vanderbilt, but they've got 3 losses, but one of them is Ohio State. So let's just say that would have been your 12 if it wasn't them. And that would make the playoffs a lot better because Notre Dame wouldn't be a 21-point underdog to Oregon. They'd probably be a favorite.
Yeah. Jerry Campos, very good friend of mine, just booked the trip to A&M.
Sweet.
Let's effing go.
Let's effing go, baby.
Jerry is a very big supporter of the program. Jerry, I know you are through the roof excited. Definitely had some conversations about this season in general throughout this year. Hey, they did it. They got in. They made it happen.
Baby.
Gilbert Reyes, 31st for my birthday on the final F8.
That'd be beautiful.
Okay, yep. Juan Manuel. Georgia is suing Damon Wilson. Oh, it's Georgia. Okay, Georgia is suing Damon Wilson for $380,000 when he bolted to Missouri. Weird thing. Agent says $80,000 was what he owed. Yeah. Wow. That's. Whew.
Wait, so he owed them $80,000 back for leaving them? Yeah. So Damon Wilson left Georgia for Missouri. He still owed them. He paid them some of it, or he just owed them 80, and they're suing him for 380. How do you sue for more money? Is that punitive damages?
Not entirely sure. That's a really weird situation. I'm gonna have to look more into that. I'm gonna ask Darren Heitner about that. Darren Heitner knows plenty about lawsuits and everything with NIL. Gilbert Reyes, I will be at Jerry's World if it happens.
Awesome.
Nice. Jerry Campos said A&M Dallas Fiesta Bowl. Oh, wait. Oh, okay. So
this is the rotation.
Okay. At A&M, then Dallas, then Fiesta Bowl, then Miami. Hey.
It really is a gauntlet. But that would be good. We've never really had luck at the Fiesta Bowl. I don't think that was where, obviously, that was the Jerome Brown team in the Fiesta Bowl. And that was the, right? Or was that the Fiesta? Or was that the show? No, Fiesta was Ohio State we lost to.
Yes.
Was the Fiesta also the Jerome Brown 1986 team, or was that the 86 team that in fatigues?
I believe that it was the 86 team with Penn State.
Yeah, so maybe we can go ahead and right our wrongs in the Fiesta this year. We also lost to UCLA, I think, in a Fiesta Bowl. Jimmy's first year, we lost like 45-41, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Let's see here. Juan Manuel, I don't think Miami has ever played USC. I'm not sure if they have. I would have
They
to. They
played UCLA, I remember, a couple of times when the Edgerrin James ran for 300 yards. And what was it? When the Canes were coming back, and then
that was 98, right?
Was that 98? Yeah, I think it was 98. And like I said, they played them in that bowl game, I think, in 1984 or 85. But I don't remember them playing USA.
It would be good.
That would be those are two similar teams on different sides of the country.
Yeah, USC is the Miami of the West Coast. Yeah. Miami is the USC of the East Coast. Mr. Jake, does anyone know if Fran Brown has been contacted to possibly fill in some of the bowl game holes? Wow. Yeah,
that's funny.
H. Canes. Need to re-up Mario, earn the next contract.
I think we're good. I think these coaches that get all these money for all these years is crazy.
He got a 10-year contract when he came in, so that was 2022. 2032 would be the expiration of.
Got 6 years left. This is his fourth year.
I believe it's December the 8th or 9th would be the expiration of 2032. If anything, just you give a raise for what was accomplished and whatnot, but I still think it's too early to.
Mario is not going anywhere.
Yeah. H&A, at least we didn't give it to the coach before they proved it. Very true. Daniel Castillo, Gio, Dawson is interviewing for Tulane this weekend. Any impact on our game planning? I think Dawson will see it through. Even if he were to take the Tulane job, I would be very happy for him. I think Tulane is a very unique situation in the G5 that they're not your typical G5 team that you think like, oh, low funds and this. Tulane is a very well supported program. I think they're very well established too. I think it'd be a great landing spot.
Didn't Tulane coach? He's staying to the end. He's staying through the playoffs too, right?
John Summerall, yes.
He's the Gator coach, and it's a whole different story than it was with Lane and Mississippi LSU, who are basically rivals. They're right around the corner from each other, but they're not that far. And yeah, so that's different. Speaking of Lane, all those players that came out and said he didn't say, he's just calling him a flat out liar for just saying that's not true.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty sad.
I will say one thing, though, because I've seen Cane fans get concerned about this, say, oh, but what if we lose Dawson, or what if we lose this guy or whatnot? A sign of a great program and a program that is on the correct trajectory when you have assistant coaches and coordinators being promoted or getting bigger jobs to become head coaches. That is the biggest sign of a program on the correct trajectory, that you're moving up. You're not stagnant. You're not moving down. That the ticker is pointing up. So I'm all for it if coaches get promoted and move on to new things and whatnot. Nick Saban had it happen several times. I'm not saying that, comparing it to Alabama and the Nick Saban dynasty, but what I am saying is you can't be afraid of that. You can't be afraid of greatness, and greatness comes in the college football world with coaching turnover. It happens.
No, a team, when they fire a coordinator, it's more likely the next one is not going to pan out. A team that promotes a coordinator that gets another job and they bring in someone else, it's more likely they're going to work out. I mean, they work out when they follow someone that was successful in most of the cases, but when you keep on replacing them because of they weren't good, it's usually something from the top. So if everything is strong from the top, like Bill Belichick was always going through coordinators, but obviously had Tom Brady, but but they go through coordinators. These guys would get jobs, and other coaches too. And there's a great tree line. Don Shula had that. A lot of his coaches, Chuck Noll, a lot of guys. When you're winning, guys get jobs. It's the overall system.
Absolutely. And if you're a Miami fan, you want that. Don't root against that. You want that.
Just like when our coaches left to the NFL. Jimmy Johnson, Howard Schnellenberger left. Then we got Jimmy Johnson.
Even the Butch Davis. The Butch Davis staff, you had several guys. You had Chuck Pagano became a head coach. Greg Schiano, Mark Stoops, guys. I'm sure. Rob Chudzinski. They had several guys that became head coaches. So
Erickson had some too. He had Obregon, right? Was it Erickson and other guys? Johnson. So yeah. So great guy, great leaders bring on people and they change. As long as they don't. Hopefully they stick with a similar offense or something that they're dynamic. Once you know how to win, you know how to win, I think. That's what once Mario learns how to win, I think we're going to be in good shape.
Yeah. The Sergeant Major. This question's for you, Brett. Brett, did you get my email reference on an idea for a new headgear for your store? Sent it a few days before Thanksgiving. I have the document to send you once I know you're getting my email.
Sergeant Major, I don't know if I did. If it was right before Thanksgiving, everything was crazy with Black Friday planning. Did you send it to, I don't know if you sent it to sales at CanesWear or Brett at CanesWear. I think that's maybe the one I get you. I don't recall seeing it. I will check again, but if you want to refresh it and send it again, and make sure if you didn't, just put a note. I usually see them all, but there are so many emails that come. I could have missed it, but I don't recall seeing it. So if you want to send it again, and follow up, that would be great. I really appreciate that.
He also shared, if you don't like it, no big deal. Just tell me it's a dud. I got alligator skin.
Okay, great. I appreciate that, Sergeant Major.
Colin Barnes, any clue if Miami/Adidas will ever release the white short sleeve hoodies we see on the sidelines? I see the long sleeves, but I'm looking for the short sleeve. Thanks.
I thought we had the white short sleeve hoodies this year. Pretty sure we had a lot of them. I know we just ordered a ton for next year as well. We had black, white, orange, and green. I don't know if it's the same exact one, but I'll look that up and I'll announce in a second. That was the short sleeve hoodie?
Yeah, he said Adidas will ever release the white short sleeve hoodies we see on the sidelines. I see the long sleeves, but I'm looking for the short sleeve. That's what he said, yeah.
The short sleeve is fine.
Aaron Fred said Miami's played USC, I believe, 3 times. Oh, I didn't know that. H. Kane said the portal has changed the value of recruiting classes. Yeah, it absolutely has. I think you obviously got to recruit well through the high school ranks, but you need to supplement that with a portal year in, year out.
We have the D4 the D4T sleeve. Oh, that's the sleeve. Let's see what's the short sleeve. Okay, never mind. Let me see. I think it may be one we've got coming for next year. We did place our orders for next year, but we have had short sleeve hoodies before. But I'll check that out and see for the next program.
Robert Halub put, "Hey Brett, don't give up your day job with that so-called Casey Kasem imitation."
Does anybody remember? I'm sure something to remember Casey Kasem. But yes, I definitely won't give up that day job unless they fire me, which could be any day. Thankfully, the Canes are in the playoffs, so I get to keep my job.
Tyler Underhill, go Canes. Happy we made it to the playoffs. Juan Manuel, has Miami ever played Illinois, Minnesota, or Wyoming? I'm not sure. I can't think of that off the top of my head. I would have to check.
Wyoming, Illinois, or who?
He said Illinois, Minnesota, or Wyoming.
I think we played Illinois. I'm not sure. It's at
Sergeant Major put PDF document with narrative and pictures. Okay. Juan Manuel shared. Yes, Fran Brown threw the game as a favor to Marcus Freeman, just like he did the favor unsolicited by Dabo Sweeney. It's telling something about his character. Yeah, Fran Brown obviously does not like Miami. He's got an axe to grind against Miami.
Mm-hmm.
Milk John's mom, Notre Dame fan here. I'm all in for Miami in taking down the SEC. Wow, look at a Notre Dame fan stopping by.
Wow. Well, the way they can take them down is they join the ACC. I mean, if they really want to take down the real SEC, Notre Dame coming to it makes the ACC that much more powerful.
We got a Texas fan stopping by, too. Mr. WW4YIG. Congratulations, guys. Hook 'em.
All right.
Definitely not as many Notre Dame fans as the last previous shows, though. They came in droves talking about.
Yes, exactly. Would you expect them to be? Definitely not.
Fire Marine Kane. What's going on, fellas? Great show. We in. Let's make this run and win it all. Go Canes. Absolutely.
I really feel, you know what? I feel it because I want to make the shirt, you know, who needs an ACC championship when you can win the national championship? Something like that. For all those people in North Carolina, but you've never won an ACC championship. Yeah, we only go for the champions.
Yep. Juan Manuel put, Milk Johns, Notre Dame is more deserving than Alabama. Yes, we discussed that tonight. I absolutely do think Notre Dame should have been in over Alabama, just not at the expense of Miami, though. H. Canes 1005. Brett, flip the hat around. I'm a sucker for orange
It's
UM.
a 47 brand U hat. It's a great hat. It's one of my favorites. And there you go. I asked my wife before every show, backwards or forwards? And she said, you can see my face better with it backwards. But there you go. There it is. I agree. I do like the hat a lot.
R. Sellers 305. Do you think Dawson leaves for Tulane? I don't really have any insight on that, if he would or not. I have shared, though, before in the past that he has turned down previous jobs, but none were really of the caliber of like Tulane. Tulane has been very consistent as a program for the past decade now. They're very well established. They fund very well with their athletic program, especially with football. I think it's a really good spot for Dawson. And originally being a guy from Louisiana, I think it makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
Lorraine said, Miss Tony said she is tuning into the show.
Fantastic. Welcome, Miss Tony. Thank you, Lorraine.
Hassan shared, Gio, do you think next year recruiting will be as good as this year or better? And are we favorites for Nick Lanier and that 5-star safety they showed his video on? I forgot his name. So, Hassan, in terms of do I think Miami can do better next year with the recruiting? I think they did really good this year, honestly, getting over 30 guys. Really good class overall. You got the #1 guy in the nation in Jackson Cantwell, too, who will likely a very good shot at possibly being a day one starter, you know, your replacement for a guy like Francis Mauanoa. You kind of continue that cycle. Now, in terms of if they could do better, I think very possible. I think the local class is better next year for the guys here in South Florida. It was kind of not too strong of a year this year, very top heavy with about maybe 3 or 4 guys that were potentially worth taking for Miami. But I think it'd definitely be better next year. I think Miami's going to do pretty well nationally. And Miami's put in a lot of work ahead of time with that 2027 class. A lot of those kids were visiting. They got in there was one point, I think it was, forgot which game it was. Can't remember now which game, but there was a game this season at Hard Rock where they hosted like close to 20 receivers that were all blue chip prospects in one class. That's insane. Raymond Rodriguez, yes. Juan Manuel said, Brett, because single digits is cool, old people, Gio and Brett, you just don't understand how groovy and far out single digits are. Now because you can dig it. Hey, number 9 or number 4 is the shizzle, man.
You know what? I agree. For smaller players, for for the wide receiver, they like the single digits. But there's been plenty of great players that have had that. I know that have had double digits. Like we said, Michael Irvin, 47, 88 in Dallas. I mean, a lot of guys. I mean, there's only just a handful of single digits. I know everyone wants to be number 1 or number 0 or number 2.
You know what I believe, Brett?
The player makes the jersey.
As long as Malachi Tony continues on the trajectory that he is on right now, and I believe he will.
Mm-hmm.
I absolutely do believe that. I think Miami should reconsider retiring that number again, just exclusive to George Myers Sr. and Malachi Tony. You absolutely have to be truly special to wear the number.
I agree. There's been players like that have done that. I mean, so that number is retired. So George Meyer let it come out of retirement.
From the understanding, yeah, the family, yeah.
And there's not too many numbers retired at Miami.
Yeah,
they recycle the numbers. I mean, we have so many guys, obviously, on the stadium. What's that called? Not the Hall of Fame, but the Ring of Honor. Well, yeah, I think it's an honor. I mean, look how many guys have worn 52 for us that are excellent, and other numbers. Obviously, Dan Morgan's 44. That's not retired. Anybody can wear it, but you don't usually see 44.
Yeah.
You don't see too many 26s anymore. You don't. I mean, do we have 99s anymore? 96s?
Ahmad Moten, 99.
Yeah, so it's so it happens, but that's a great honor. And the Meyer family had a great career. George Meyer Jr. was also a beast of a player for the Canes.
Linebacker, he was.
He was awesome. He shut down Oklahoma, Nebraska all the time.
Kip Sullivan shared, we also lost the University of Arizona in the Fiesta Bowl.
So the Fiesta, we've not been good at the Fiesta, but I will take getting to the Fiesta this year, and we'll worry about it then. But I do know the Fiesta has always been tough for us.
Hassan shared, Miami should hire Pat Surtain as a defensive analyst. He's a great recruiter. Nick Saban used to do that. I agree. You could take a page out of the old Nick Saban book. They used to call it the coach rehabilitation process in Tuscaloosa with Nick Saban.
Did Pat Surtain get let go? Was he with his son?
Yes. So no, he wasn't with his son. He got let go from Florida State. He was defensive back coach.
Yeah, that's right. I did see him in a Panther game. I did see him. I think Andy.
In his defense, though, I'll say Pat Surtain. I wouldn't say so much this year, but the prior year, FSU's defensive backs were pretty good during the 2024 season.
I would like to get him, and he obviously he has the hookup. I mean, obviously with Heritage. Was he at Heritage or St. Thomas?
He was at Heritage.
He was at Heritage. Obviously, we didn't get his son, which we were supposedly in play. And I heard, I think it was Patterson would tell me both of them would have came here. Who was the other one with Patterson?
Those Heritage kids. Yeah, that was Tyson Campbell and Pat Surtain Jr.
Yeah, so it was that would have been a big get for us. But no, I would love to have Pat Surtain here. It would be a great get for us.
Juan Manuel shared, Ed Orgeron is also in meetings for Tulane coach. Hide your wives, Tulane. Actually, funny enough, was able to have a conversation with Ed Orgeron earlier this season at a private event. And he made it very clear at that event that he wants to get back into coaching. He's very serious about it.
How old is that?
At the point, I know it's been discussed, he's considered potentially going on the staff with Lane Kiffin at LSU. I don't know if that's still on hand or not, but I would not be surprised to see Ed Orgeron coaching it. He seemed very serious about it.
His son is here still, right?
Yes, 2 of his sons actually are coaching here.
Right. Is he an analyst at Orgeron for us?
No, but he spends plenty of time around the program, and he's at a bunch of the alumni events too.
Okay, cool. Yeah, a lot of people say they see him around. That's Cookie Monster, right? Okay.
This now I'm not gonna get that reference out of my head. The Cookie Monster. Wow. Sergeant Major put Brett
At CanesWear.com. Just like the company CanesWear, CanesWear.com. If it doesn't go through, let me know. Sometimes people get rejected.
Devon Mayfield. If we can win three in a row, we get a home game. Yeah, that's in national title plan.
That would be beautiful.
Jerry C305. Gio, thoughts on QB for 2026? I think Sam Levitt would make a lot of sense for Miami. The only problem is that's another scenario where you may have a quarterback that has to sit out for the spring with an injury, the foot injury that he has, the spring, and then potentially being ready for fall ball. So we'll see. I think in outside the box one, what if Darian Mensah were to enter the transfer portal? I know he's at Duke and he had a really good year, but what if he decided, hey, I want to test the market again or whatever? I think that would be a really good option for Miami.
I think Manny said he was the best quarterback in the country or so, and that's why they should be in the playoffs, didn't he?
Yeah. Darian Mensah is a very good quarterback. He was actually at Tulane the year prior.
Really? What year is he in?
He's a sophomore now.
See, that's the problem. So they can bring him in with Darian and Nickel and, those guys. Obviously, those guys can win the job. So you don't think either Coleman or Nickel is ready?
I don't think so for next year.
Okay. But Ohio State has a redshirt freshman, right? Was he ready, do you think? If he was with us, would he have been ready?
By now, yeah.
So he would have been ready, but do you think we would have?
The thing with Nickel, the good thing is has gunslinger mentality. However, has to cut back on some of the turnovers and some of the game situations that they simulate on Green Sheet. Not saying he's bad, but obviously he's a young quarterback. So there's several young quarterbacks that have gotten over that hump. Some don't. So we'll see. But I still think it's still very early in Nickel's development. And Darion Coleman, I like a lot. To me, it's more so the strength and conditioning factor. I think he needs a year of that to truly be ready.
So he doesn't have as strong of an arm?
No, he's got a heck of an arm. That thing is like a whip. But very similar to like Cam Ward in that sense as a passer.
So we know it took Cam 2 to 3 years to really get going. But Darian's coming out. What is he, a 4-star?
Yeah, he's a 4-star out of the Orlando area. He's actually he's headed to his second consecutive state championship game.
That's great. No interceptions still?
No interceptions to this point from what I recall.
Did Luke throw interceptions in high school?
Yeah, he threw some here and there. His last year, not so much, but just really impressive that Darion Coleman hasn't thrown a single one.
That's amazing, especially if he slings it.
Oh, yeah. Let's see. Juan Manuel said, are the Irish drinking their college football playoff tears today? They've been known to drink.
Absolutely.
We're almost
green tears and beer.
Yeah, we're almost here at the end of the questions. Mr. Jake 02. Miami has played Illinois and Wyoming, but never played Minnesota.
Really? The Dolphins beat them in Super Bowl 8. Oh, that's a different Miami. Oh.
Yeah. Live Boy 11. We in it. Go Canes. Absolutely.
Absolutely, Live Boy. Thanks for coming in and joining the show.
Here is the last two questions of the night. Blue Green Street. Did you see Levitt didn't show up to Arizona State banquet? Yes. When it came time to honor Levitt, Dillingham told the audience that he wished him well in whatever his future may hold. Yeah, there's been a lot of issues going on back and forth there. Arizona State, from what I understand, they're having some NIL commitment issues in terms of like funds right now as well. So there's going to be some turnover there with their program, from what I understand, outside of Levitt. And let's see here. The last one is, here we go, Brett. The Sergeant Major just resent initial email to Brett at CanesWear.com. No need to call me. I'm covered up this week. As soon as I know you got my email, I'll forward the PDF. And then he said, just resent it, Brett.
Let's see. I don't see it yet, but all right, you just sent it there for Brett. Let me look in there. Is it in clutter? I don't see it yet. All right, if it doesn't go through, let me know. If you don't see that one, let me just get, if it doesn't go through on your side, let me send it also, since I don't see it, Sergeant Major, send it also to a Gmail, CanesWear1@gmail.com. CanesWear1@gmail.com. The Outlook, sometimes I don't get them if they've got attachments. I don't know why. It's got clutter. So CanesWear1@gmail.com, Sergeant Major. Send it there as well, please.
So Juan Manuel said, guys, good night. What a journey. Ha. Don't stop believing.
It has definitely been a journey. It was a great show. We started early today, 7. We only went 3 hours and 40 minutes. A short one for us. But we are, thank you to everybody that came out. It's a great, great day to be a Cane. I said earlier, it possibly was the biggest day in CanesWear history. 15 years in business, and we got to the playoffs. So it was a phenomenal day. I mean, I know we all thought it was possible, but none of us thought, especially after the SMU game, that we had a chance. Nobody thought. I mean, I said if we won out and we keep on blowing out teams, but I didn't. And it was especially after SMU, we're 7-7 with Stanford at halftime. I think we were crying our eyes out. Just what a journey! Mario and the team, from Beck to Tony to Bain, to all the great players on this team. Hopefully we've got 4 more games in us. Let's take them one at a time, and I'm excited that we're all part of this journey. It's been a long time coming for the Canes, and back-to-back 10-win seasons been phenomenal. First time we've done that in many years, so it's a great time to be a Canes fan. Remember, we're sponsored by Canes. We're the Spot Miami Fan Shop. We got lots of items. We've got the new CFP shirts. They're on pre-order now, but order them. We'll have them next week. Got other things we've got coming in too. Also, remember, CanesWear has their new mobile app. Please download that when you get a chance. Like and subscribe to the FTSN network. Bobby and the team do a fantastic job. Me and Gio will try another one in the playoffs. Gio, I don't know we'll if we can do another one this week. Let's definitely try to do another one this week. I know everybody wants more podcasts, so we do appreciate that. I appreciate every one of you. Gio, tell them about where they can find you this week.
Yeah, everyone can find me on X, fighting with Notre Dame fans, telling them nothing but the truth and only the truth. And
only the truth.
Certainly the truth prevailed for Miami in the end at Gio Milian on X. You can find me always on here on the CanesWear podcast with Brett, sometimes on Locked on Canes, Comics on Canes, 560 WQAM, the private Discord as well. Hundreds of people have subscribed in there. They love what they're getting in there. Share a whole bunch of tidbits on various different things, whether it's the team, recruiting, everything you can think of, even basketball notes in there too. You'd be surprised. It's not only do football, basketball as well.
And they're playing well right now. They got more wins than last year. Right?
Oh, yes.
We're not even Christmas, and there's more wins than last year.
There is some discussion that Miami could be a surprise team for the NCAA tournament. We'll see. It's still early.
Imagine if Boozer Brothers would have come here.
Wow. Yeah.
Anyway, so a lot going on in your private Discord. You're on Dono all the time, right? You're on 560 a lot. Everyone can catch them there. You're on QAM, right? So it's that's awesome. So any particular shows you know about right now, Gio?
Wait, what?
You have any shows you're going to be on this week?
I gotta see. Possibly Comics on Canes this week. Well, also here on CanesWear. I'll see if Dono wants me to get back on this week or whatnot or whatever. I'll see how his schedule is this week and potentially anything else that comes up.
All right, great. So Gio will be on this week, maybe Tuesday. We'll see what day. We'll let everybody know. Check our X accounts, and we will definitely post it soon. Got some Sergeant Major. I'll look for that email. Juan Manuel, thanks a lot. What a journey it has been. Hassan, H. Canes, everybody, thank you so much for being part of our our young podcast, and it keeps growing, and we appreciate all of you. And if you ever want to see anything with the format or anything, feel free to let us know. CanesWear1@gmail.com. You got that right, Sergeant Major. Love that name, Sergeant Major.
Yeah, it's really good.
Benjamin or one of the shows. So anyway, so thank you very much, everybody. We really appreciate it. Any final comments, Gio?
No, thank you everyone for coming out to watch again tonight. The viewership has been very consistent, about 4,000 to 5,000 to 6,000 people through the last several different shows. Over 4,000 tonight showing up in support of the Canes, and hey, it's great. It's a great time to be a Hurricane fan. We're in the playoffs now. I think it couldn't get any better than that. What fans could be asking for, an appearance in the postseason. Got to live in the moment, and also you got to make the most of it too. Miami absolutely has to show that they belong. So with that said, we'll be back on again very soon. Me and Brett and Mando, and everyone take care.
Mando's not there, I guess, right?
Yeah, I think he had to hop.
All right. Guys, thank you so much. It's playoff time, baby. We will see you all soon. Let's go, Canes.
Go Canes.